The big schools taking center stage here at Fawcett Stadium. The Panthers of Cincinnati Elder getting ready to battle the Wildcats of Cleveland St. Ignatius. It's the Division I state championship game as Chuck Kyle goes after state championship number 10, but the Panthers hope to be in the way. Two 13-1 squads getting it going at Fawcett Stadium tonight. Hi everybody, welcome to Sports Time Ohio's continuing coverage of the State Football Championship, our final game of the 6th, and it is a doozy tonight. Mike Ahrens along with Greg Fry, Katie Witham will be chiming in from the sideline with our Farmers Insurance sideline report throughout the night. And boy, I'll tell you what, we have been so ready for this football game. We got here early, as did the faithful for Elder and for Ignatius, and we're ready to go.
As you'd expect, a lot of fans here tonight, a lot of energy on the field already in pregame. It's time to tee it up, Mike. Let's go right now.
All right, let's get you started and go inside the numbers. You can get a look at what these two teams have done offensively, and you can see the challenge you issued. There are the shirtless people on both sides, and the faithful has certainly come into this one. Go inside the numbers offensively. Both of these squads can put up some big numbers.
Well, they dominate passing the football, but they're also very good at running the football, and you can see total offense quite similar there. Elder's got more yards, but points per game, look at that, 34.6 and 34.1, two mirror images of each other.
Take a look at some of the key players that will be following in this game, and a real good sign is that Adam Brown, the great running back for Cincinnati Elder, will play in this game tonight.
Banged up a little bit last week with an ankle injury, but it's amazing what happens when you have a championship week. That injury kind of goes away pretty quick, but talk to Coach. He looks like he's healthy and ready to go, and they're going to need him running the football tonight to make sure to keep that Ignatius defense off balance a little bit.
And on the other side, he doesn't get a lot of credit, but this is the clock killer, and he's put away a lot of wins, and that's Mike Anner.
Well, we were starting a website for him last week to get more touchdowns because Hinkle comes in and scores all the time, but Anner gets him between the 20s, and he's a workhorse running the football.
Yeah, and that was kind of funny throughout the week. Pat Hinkle was talking about the touchdowns, and he said he tried to actually lobby for Coach Kyle to get him in there, but he goes, you know what? You stick with what works in that goal line situation. If they get a chance, you'll see it tonight. Let's go inside the numbers defensively, and this is really where this football game is going to be won tonight.
Two great defenses, and you can see what they do. Passing defense, they're both very solid. Rush defense, look at Ignatius only giving up 100 yards rushing. Total defense, Ignatius again with 194. Elder not too shabby with 279, and the big difference there is that 7.6 points per game given up by the Ignatius defense against a very strong schedule. Elder's got a great defense as well, but to me, this might be the slight difference in the game, the Ignatius defense.
Key players defensively for Elder. Orlando Scales, we've seen this kid a couple of times, and he is everywhere.
He's active from a nose tackle position. He's going to be all over the field, but he's got a lot of size, but he's very quick like a cat as well. You'll see 55 all over the field.
And for Ignatius, the first-team All-Ohio junior linebacker in Scott McVeigh.
He's impressive. He's a stud. He's a very physical football player. He steps up quite well, takes on blockers. They blitz him from a lot of different angles. Elder's going to have to pay close attention to where he is tonight. 30.5 tackles for loss. That's a significant number.
Should be a great football game. Both of these schools have packed this stadium, and we'll have the kickoff for the Division I state championship game coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio.
Kid that played in the backyard, remember that? You were that little kid running around your backyard scoring all those sorts of touchdowns. Remember that game you were playing your head? It's a game tonight, fellas. It's a game you prepare for. It's a game you play when you're a little kid. It's not going to happen tonight. Let's go have some fun.
There is head coach Chuck Kyle talking to his guys. Let's take a look at Coach Fry's keys to this one tonight.
Well, my first key is the running backs, Adam Brown and Mike Anner. Which guy's going to step up for his team? They're both passing teams, but the running backs have got to make a statement tonight. Secondly, you got to protect your quarterback. Third, the quarterback's got to step up tonight and certainly carry their team. And finally, you've got two great defenses. Which defense is going to step up and win a championship for their team?
Anthony Miliano will get it underway. Kevin Johnson, 5 yards deep in his end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And the Wildcats will start first on offense.
Well, here we go. We've been waiting all day to see this, and going to get our first look at Andrew Holland. And we'll see nerves early in the game, like if these guys are settled down or jacked up, and sometimes it takes a while in a big game like this.
Give you an idea what they're dealing with tonight as you take a look at Andrew Holland's stats on the season. Game time temperature, 30 degrees, a southeast wind, 4 miles an hour. The wind chill makes it feel like 25 degrees, but I'll tell you what, none of these guys can feel that right now. They're ready to play some football. So 1st and 10, Ignatius from the 20. Paris in motion, blitz up the middle, picked up. Holland scrambles out of the pocket. And he finds Frank DeSico for a couple of yards. And that'll bring up 2nd and 8. Saw a little bit of the mobility of Andrew Holland on that play right there. Take a look at the Serpentini starting lineups. Ross, Whitaker, Conley, Kedzor, and Gordon gets the start in place of Pat Dowd tonight. And there's the backfield. Mike Ganner, Sam LaGuardia, the fullback, and Paris, Ryan, and Carazoni, the tight end. They used him early in last week's football game.
3 big catches in the starting drive last week.
Pick up a 4, 2nd and 6. And here's Anner with an early carry, trying to get to the outside. And looks like he picked up the 1st down as he gets across the 30. Take a look at the Serpentini starting lineups on defense for the Panthers. We talked about Orlando Scales. He is the man to deal with up front. Nick Daffin is a guy who's very active. And watch for Corey Mason from his outside linebacker spot, and that backfield is pretty good. The secondary, Taylor, Palmisano, Auton-Reed, Fishburne, and Zach Osman. Well, 1st and 10 from the 31. Holland, straight drop back, looking over the middle, has Paris, and Paris is close to another 1st down.
Looks like a little option route there, sitting in the zone. Good job setting his feet by Andrew Holland, and you're going to see Paris get his first catch of the night. A little bit of an in route, sits right in the hole. Good job catching the football. You can see how quickly Elder's going to converge on him. They're going to make sure they know where he's at.
Well, they picked up the 1st down, pick up a 10. So 2 quick 1st downs in this opening series for St. Ignatius. Anner to the right of Andrew Holland. 4 wide receiver set for the Wildcats. Just underway here on Sports Time Ohio. Looking for Connor Ryan, overthrew Ryan. Jake Fishburne in on the coverage for Cincinnati Elder.
Well, I'm excited to see the chess match between the defensive coordinators and the offensive coordinators. How many Elder going to bring? They brought 5 that time, pretty well picked up by the offensive line, and got to get pressure on the opposing quarterbacks, because if you give them time, they're going to light you up.
The blimp will be with us all night long. You take a look at the conditions, and the bottom line is the most important. Clear.
It's perfect.
It snowed in the booth on us last year.
It's a lot better than it's been the last couple of years. Weather will not be a factor tonight.
2nd and 10 from the 41. Anner on the delay. He's got a hole. 1st down. And he gets into Panther territory.
Jonathan Taylor coming up there making a tackle. He's filling in for the injured Eric Vogelsang, who's got a shoulder injury. But look at the seam right there. Good job blocking up front. They caught him in a showing pass. Just runs a little slip draw right there to Anner. Good job of the blue shirts up front.
Pick up a 14. Well, 1st and 10 from the Elder 45. Split backfield for Holland. This will be Anner again. Over the left side. Finds the going tough over there. Pick up of a couple will bring up 2nd down. Let's take a look now at Coach Fry's keys to this one tonight.
Well, I like the running backs. Again, as I said, Anner's already made some plays, but as good as these teams are throwing the football, you still have to mix it up, and the running backs got to have a pretty good night. They don't need 100 yards, but maybe 60 or 70. Protect your quarterback, critical tonight. And the quarterbacks in a big game, they've got to step up and play special, and these guys are both capable. And finally, which defense is going to carry the load tonight? Both these defenses are outstanding, but you got to make plays, and defense wins championships.
Blitz is picked up on 2nd and 7. Holland going into the flat, has a man, that's Frank DeSico. DeSico comes up short of the 1st down. Bring up 3rd and about 1.5 yards.
It was fun. The first play of the drive, Frank DeSico was stuck on the sideline. They had to wave him out in the first play. I think he got caught not knowing which formation they were in, but a nice catch here. You know, he doesn't get a lot of the catches, but you and I know he can make a lot of plays. He's special on special teams. Good catch right there. You got to pay attention to where he's at.
A 3rd and 2. Zach Osman on the coverage with the tackle. Frankie DeSico, kind of like the X factor we talked about. 8th play of this drive right here.
He's slippery.
coming with the blitz. Pitch outside. Anner. He's got a block. Anner at the 30, 25, and knocked out of bounds at the 21. Another first down and a big first down for Cleveland St. Ignatius.
Zach Ottenreeb's going to knock him out of bounds, but they caught Elder in a blitz. They brought double A-gap stunts right there with the linebackers. They had the perfect play call, the toss sweep to Anner. They got everybody walled off, and Anner's running downhill, picking up a first down, and Ignatius is knocking on the door. Opening drive.
Pick up a 16. And Mike Anner already hit 40 yards here in this opening drive. Maybe a little payback from last week. Watching 3 touchdowns be run in by Pat Hinkle. Play action. Over the top. Carazoni with a catch. 5. Head down. Reaches for the goal line. Touchdown, Ignatius. Well, Carazoni, with a couple of quick catches last week in the drive, comes up with the first score of the night as he stretches over for the touchdown.
Well, Mike, when Holland made that throw, I wasn't sure he was throwing into traffic, but what a catch by Brendan Carazoni going up and getting this ball. This ball's thrown in traffic. You see Holland roll to his right. He throws it high. That's the good thing. And there's an Elder defender there. Dominic Palmisano was underneath of that throw, and if the throw was low, it's picked.
Hennessy with the extra point. And he shoots it through. 21-yard touchdown catch. And Andrew Holland connecting with his tight end. Cleveland St. Ignatius is on the board first here, 7-0. Well, the OHSAA football championships are brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Farmers, get you back where you belong. And the OHSAA football championships also brought to you by Time Warner Cable. So 9 plays, 80 yards, and 3.5 minutes to open up this football game. A 21-yard touchdown. That's Cleveland St. Ignatius up 7-0 in a very nice mix. 4 running plays, 5 passing plays. Chuck Kyle mixing it up on that opening drive.
Excellent opening drive. That's how you want to start a game like this. And what a catch by Carazoni in traffic. And how about Andrew Holland on that opening drive? Perfect down the field, making every throw. How you want to start.
Now Jesse Franklin will get set to kick off.
So much for nerves on the opening drive. Can you tell these guys were ready to play tonight?
Michael Del Prince, Ben Cafaro, back deep for Elder. They're off to a great start, 8:28 in this opening quarter from Fawcett Stadium. Glad you could join us tonight for this Division I state championship on Sports Time Ohio. This one in the direction of Del Prince, so field it, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. And we'll get our first look at the other co-Division I Offensive Player of the Year, and that's Mark Miller, as he'll head the offense for Elder. What an offense he has to deal with.
6'9", 170-pound junior, first-year starter. And boys, he made the most of his first year.
He absolutely has. Josh Jones split wide right. O'Connor wide left. Straight drop from Miller. Miller going to take off, felt the pressure, tripped up, and tackled by Ryan Carr.
Makes his way up to the 23-yard line. Tackle on the play by number 66, Ryan Carr for the Wildcats.
Mark Miller looking in the directions of Josh Jones as you look at his season. Almost 70% completion, almost 3,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions, and that rating of 180.8.
But he had it up over 70% a couple weeks ago, but he slacked off in the last couple of weeks.
He picked up 3 on the scramble. That's Del Prince in motion, 2nd and 7. Rolling out, going up top. This is Jones. Jones jumps for it. It's knocked away. Nice defense by Sean Fitzgerald as he got a hand on it to knock it away from the University of Cincinnati recruit.
Dan Fox.
Take a look at the Serpentini starting lineups for the Elder offense. Up front, they are huge. Austin Vujnak and John Anevsky anchor that left side of the line. Those are all Ohio players for Mark Miller, and they will run behind him. It's good to see Adam Brown is back. Nicholas Gramke also will get plenty of carries, but there's O'Connor, Jones, and the big tight end, Alex Welch.
Very good receiving core. Tim O'Connor's another name you're going to hear quite a bit probably tonight.
3rd and 7. Miller going over the middle. Nice catch there by O'Connor. And he picks up the first down, so right on cue, there's Tim O'Connor.
Well, we know how good he is on crossing routes, and he gets his first catch of the night right in the middle of the zone.
Look at these Serpentini starting lineups on defense, and what a year it's been for Scott McVay. Those 3 linebackers, Sullivan, Seafring, and McVay, the all-Ohio player, get it going. But then you got Fox going to Notre Dame, Hinkle going to Miami, and then Fisher, Gillislee, and Hunt. Very solid in the secondary is Ignatius. 1st and 10 from the 36. First carry of the night. And Adam Brown picks up 4 on the play. He was iffy right up until game time, but you had a chance to talk to Coach Ramsey about him before the game.
You know, he didn't practice as much as he would have liked this week, but again, we kind of joked about how in a week like this, those injuries heal up pretty quick. They heal a lot faster normally, and you got a championship game on the line.
Well, you certainly don't want to take away 1,100 yards and 13 touchdowns. The guy averages 8 yards a clip out of your lineup as you look at head coach Doug Ramsey. His overall record, undefeated in championship games. Straight drop, Miller feeling the pressure, and that's Ted Kraft coming up to make the tackle.
You know, that defensive line for Ignatius probably doesn't get as much mention as the linebackers in the secondary, but between Ted Kraft and Ryan Carr and Jerry Rommel, those guys make a lot of plays. And when they do their job right, the linebackers behind them are the ones making all the big plays and getting all the credit, but pretty solid front 3 right there.
That'll bring up 3rd and 4 from the 42. 4 wide receiver package. McVay on the outside. Here he comes. He's picked up over the middle. That's Del Prince. Picks up the first down.
But I really think Ignatius wasn't lined up correctly right there. Elder had trips to the field, and there was only 2 blue shirts out there by the Ignatius defense, and Mark Miller recognized that. See, look at the hole right there. Just throws it in there to Del Prince, picks up the first down. Nice recognition by Mark Miller, seeing the void in the defense, and he put the ball right there.
Seamus Seafring in on the tackle. So here comes the Panthers. 1st and 10 from their 47. Play action, Miller. Miller looking over the middle, and he's got O'Connor for another first down. O'Connor in Wildcat territory at the 41.
Well, I tell you, it's impressive. You know, I talked to Coach Kyle about those crossing routes before the game, and they're aware of those. They've seen them on film. We've seen them. You got Scott McVay hunting it up. There's two Ignatius defenders looking for the crossing route, and see O'Connor, he keeps going. He's got Tom Hunt on his back as well, and a good job. He sits there, and then he keeps going across the field. Good recognition by Mark Miller, and move the chains.
Pick up at 12. 8th play of this drive coming up right here. Pitch, this is Gramke. Gramke straight ahead. And he gets to the Ignatius 35.
Tackled on the play by number 3, Dan Fox.
Well, the old shovel pass a la University of Florida. A lot of teams do this, and he's just going to sprint left and shove it underneath. You see the guard pull. Brett Niehauser's going to pull. It's a running play. It counts as the pass, but it's nice when you got a big guard to follow like that. 6'3", 235. Nice pickup on first down by Gramke.
Picked up 5, 2nd and 5. Gramke, the deep back. This is Miller. Miller going up top, first tight end, picked off by McVay. McVay knocked out of bounds at the 23, and the Wildcat defense stiffens.
What an athletic play by Scott McVay. Alex Welch was open on that play. Mark Miller a little bit late throwing that football, and boy, McVay shows some ups on that play. You can see Mark Miller is going to step into this throw. Looks like a pretty good throw, but McVay getting to it. A little bit late on the throw. When you're late against a very good defender, he's going to make that play.
Pass intended for his big tight end, Alex Welch. McVay went up and got it. 1st and 10 at their 24. Here's Mike Anner. Anner, very productive on the opening drive. And gets some good yardage on first down. Take a look at what Mike Anner did for the Wildcats in that opening drive. came up with 40 yards in that drive on a variety of different runs. And he is very, very solid guy. We talked about him in the pregame, that this is a kid that Chuck Powell relies a lot on more as a closer, but you know what? He's probably one of those unsung heroes on this Ignatius football team.
Well, and he's what keeps the defense honest, because you've got such great receivers outside that you force defenders out of the box, and he's so good at running the football.
Holland looking over the middle. Has a man. Carsoni comes up with a big catch for an Ignatius first down. Send it down to Katie Witham for our first Farmers Insurance sideline report of the night. Katie?
Well, Mike, Greg, I was just over on that Elder sideline, ended up getting in on the defensive huddle, and everyone has been talking about what a big game this is here tonight, and the first thing that came out of the coach's mouth, do not let this game get bigger than us. It is not bigger than us. He told the guys, you got to read your keys, tackle, and just really be physical. But also, guys, one of the things Coach Ramsey told me that was key for the Panthers here tonight was to come out with a lot of energy, running right out of the gate. What's it going to take for them to do that? Because I don't think we've seen that from them so far, guys.
Yeah, that's a good point, Katie. And first down play, read perfectly by number 22, Zach Autry, came up and got Andrew Holland. And that's good advice from Coach Ramsey. I mean, it's early on in the game. Everybody's coming in hyped up. Whether you're starting on offense, defense, everybody's got those jitters right off the bat.
When you talk to both coaches, it's still a football game, even though there's a magnitude of the game. You still have to play football and keep it simple. And both coaches understand that.
Holland. Back to pass. Going over the sideline looking for Connor Ryan. Just the second incompletion. He's opening it up 5 of 7 early in this football game. That'll bring up the 3rd and 11.
And that brings the Cincinnati Elder faithful, and they brought a serious crowd up here on the opposing sideline. Get a little bit of pressure that time. Forces the throw outside. Good coverage as well by Jake Fishburne.
3 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield and the spread offense. Harris with the catch. Still on his feet at the 45, 40, makes a move and gets down to the Elder 35. First down, Cleveland St. Ignatius.
That's a big-time play. It's a big-time throw, number 1, and a great catch by Joe Paris. But Elder brought the heat. They brought the extra guy from the right-hand side who's not going to be picked up. Andrew Holland knows that. You see him throw off his back foot right there, a little bit high. But when the team blitzes you from that side, that's where the ball's got to go. That's a D1 college play right there, those 2 guys just did.
Pick up a 15. So they'll stay in that spread formation. Holland gonna take it off. Gets a block, still on his feet. Inside the 30. Ball came out at the end of the play, but it was dead. Bring up 2nd down.
They don't run Andrew Holland that much, but they do it enough to keep the defense honest. And that time Frank Whitaker, the left guard, is going to release downfield, and Andrew Holland's going to follow him. He takes about 2 steps back to show pass. The linebacker's dropping off, and then he slips up underneath.
Picked up 7 on the play. 2nd and 3 now. And Cincinnati Elder 29. Just underway. Minute 47 left to go in this opening quarter of the Division I State Football Championship from Boston Stadium. Anner straight ahead. Anner has the first down. He gets inside the 25. Mike Anner's been busy here in the first quarter.
He's been very busy, and he gets that extra 2 or 3 yards. That play looked like it was bottled up by Elder, and he finds a way to keep churning and gnashing to get the extra 2 or 3. And Pat Hinck was just waiting to get down inside the 5-yard line to come in to score a touchdown.
48 yards here in this first quarter for Mike Anner alone. Creeping into the red zone is Cleveland St. Ignatius. Holland wants it all, going up top, has a man, had Ryan wide open. As Connor Ryan had his man turned around, but Andrew Holland just let him a little bit too much. That's incomplete.
Well, he had the right matchup, one-on-one. That's what you want. You don't see that too often, those guys not connecting. My question is, you see how Connor Ryan went inside. That's the thing that Andrew Holland had to throw that football before he made the move. He was expecting him to go outside the defender. He went inside, and that's why the ball was not where Connor Ryan was.
Matched up with Jake Fishburne. You look at the total yardage so far. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Hand off to Anner. Anner straight ahead for a couple, bring up third down.
Well, Elder's going to have to find a way to stop that because he's picking up a lot of yards running straight at him.
Well, you can see with so much hype in these spread offenses going to the wide receivers, Chuck Kyle is certainly committed to running the football, and you've got to do that in order to set up these offenses.
Well, it's a numbers game. I mean, if defenses have to pay attention to the receivers outside, there's so many guys in the box. If there's 6 in the box and you've got 6 or 7 to block, well, you're going to run the football. If they bring a bunch of guys in the box, well, guess what? You're going to throw it outside. So the defense has got to pick their poison.
Timeout being called by Ignatius with 31 seconds left here in the opening quarter. So we'll take a timeout. 31 seconds left, opening quarter. This Division I state championship from Fawcett Stadium, and Chuck Kyle and company on top, 7-0.
Visit OHSAA.com today. We have to make some more of our departments. Stark County Visitors Bureau. Dumont Sporting Goods. Elms Country Club. Enterprise Car Rental.
Serpentine is...
Welcome back as you get the great view from the blimp. 7-0 Ignatius, 10th play of this drive. A 3rd and 6 from the Elder 21. Cats 2 for 2 on third down conversions in this first quarter. Holland, straight drop, going up top. That's Connor Ryan. Ryan for the touchdown. 2 21-yard touchdown passes for Andrew Holland. And the Wildcats on top here in this first quarter.
The Wildcats came to play tonight. Their offense has been very efficient. 2 drives, and we're going to throw the post corner right here. Looks like Dominic Palmisano's got a beat on it, but boy, that ball was thrown perfectly over the shoulder. Touchdown Ignatius. Connor Ryan again finds the end zone, number 13 on the year.
And touchdown number 27 for Andrew Holland. Hennessy. Looked like it was partially reflected, but it got through. 14-0 Cleveland St. Ignatius. Let's send it down to Katie Whitman for Farmers Insurance sideline report.
Oh boy, guys, Connor Ryan and Joey Parrish coming up big already for the Wildcats here tonight. You know what? The combination play between those 2 guys and Andrew Holland is just incredible. You know, when I spoke with Coach Kyle before the game, he said those 3 guys have been playing together since their freshman year. They've been starting since they were sophomores. These kids know each other inside and out. Like you guys upstairs finish each other's sentence. These guys finish each other's steps on the field, and they have so much faith in each other that they really are able to come up with some amazing plays, guys.
Thanks, Katie. Certainly you can tell just by watching that series right there.
Well, they played together since their sophomore year. They all 3 got a chance to play quite a bit as sophomores, and you know when you do that as a sophomore and as a junior, then as a senior, Katie's right. I mean, you can anticipate what each other's going to do, and it makes it look easy in a venue like this when you're playing for all the marbles. You see the scoring drive, 10 plays, 76 yards in 4:05. This offense so far has been in a machine tonight, Mike.
10 plays, 76 yards in 4 minutes. So that'll bring Jesse Franklin out to kick it away.
And they cash in on the Elder turnover. McVay interception leads to a touchdown.
This one sent in the directions of Michael Del Prince. We'll get it at the 10, 15, 20. It's out across the 20, and that's where Cincinnati Elder will start their second possession.
Elder knows what it is like to be behind. They trailed 10-0 last week against Pickerington Central, and they found a way to come back in that one, Mike.
Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear, reminding you to get there on triple thread technology with 3 unique dread zones for unsurpassed traction in any weather. What a gorgeous view that is, and how cool is that?
That's pretty awesome.
Give me a Monday Night Football, the state championship game. Doesn't get any better than that. Miller on the rollout. This is where he's so dangerous. Tucks it up and takes it to the 25. He's slammed down there by Scott McVay.
Well, the one thing I like about Mark Miller is, he's not gonna run and make it get 8, 10, 15 yards downfield, but when he's not comfortable, he's gonna tuck it, pick up that 2 or 3 yards, and make sure he doesn't make a bad play.
So that's how the quarter will end here at Boston Stadium. 1 quarter in the book. The Wildcats have come out on top of the Panthers in this opening quarter. They're up 14-0. Want to watch this game again? Look for this game to Fawcett Stadium as you take a look through the eyes of the Goodyear Blimp, which will be around all night long. Mike Aarons, Greg Fry, and Katie Witham. Division I state championship game. And Ignatius with a big first quarter on top 14-0. Mark Miller and Elder trying to answer here.
They do need to answer. They got to get their crowd involved in this game.
Miller going to take a straight drop. Finds O'Connor.
McVeigh, no, that wasn't McVeigh. That was
Seafring over there. Was Willem stride for stride. Good play.
The linebackers are staying home. They're looking for those crossing routes. They know they're going to come. And a good job by Seafring there making a tackle in the open field.
Actually lost a yard on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 7 from their 26.
Important third down here for Elder. They don't want to give it back to the Ignatius defense. Offense. They want to keep them on the sideline.
2 for 2 on third downs tonight. Miller flushed out of the pocket. Miller on the run.
Got O'Connor
downfield. Has O'Connor. O'Connor out of step on Dan Fox, but he overthrew him. Take a look at the first quarter stats, and an impressive first quarter for Cleveland St. Ignatius.
Very impressive by the offense, and that turnover is a big one. It turned into 7 points. The McVeigh interception. You can see the passing yards there dominated by Ignatius. Mark Miller and company still unable to get on track offensively.
Corey Mason will kick it away to the X Factor, Frank DeSico. Gets it at his 38. He's got room. Look out. Gets to the outside. He's in Panther territory. Puts his head down and keeps his feet moving as he's brought down just shy of the Elder 35-yard line. So right away, great possession, great place to be for Ignatius here in the second quarter.
Got a lot of room. He's going to step up. He sees the vertical seam. Boy, he hits it, running hard. Fortunately for Elder, doesn't take it all the way back, but going to set up Andrew Howell on a short field.
Punt was 37 yards, 27 on the return for Frank DeSico. Anner the deep back. He'll get the handoff, follows the block of LaGuardia, gets to the outside, makes one miss, still trying to get to the outside, and pushed out of bounds. Nice job, Zach Hartreed was over there as they defense stretched that play out.
They did. The Elder defense has got to, they got to put their foot down right now because there's a lot of momentum on the sideline of Ignatius with their offense, and Elder's looking for a big play of their own. They've yet to have one on either side of the football.
No gain. So take a look at the stats of Chuck Kyle in his 26th season. 9 state championships.
Looking for number 10. That's some rare air at that point.
Holland operating out of the shotgun. Holland going over the middle, has Connor Ryan. Ryan picks up the first down and gets deeper in Panthers territory as he gets inside the 20.
Mike, the biggest key for Elder defensive right now is they've got to get pressure on Andrew Holland. They've not come close to him all night. One time they got in his face and he still got rid of it, but too much time to throw there. The O-line for Ignatius has given him a ton of time, and Elder's got to find a way, and that might mean taking a risk playing man coverage to bring the extra guy, but you can't let him sit back there. He will surgically dissect you.
Pick up a 17. 1st and 10 at the Cincinnati Elder 19. Spread offense. This is Holland taking off, has room over the left side, cuts back at the 10, and very close to picking up another first down. Went right to the marker.
Andrew Holland is sneaky quick. You know, I've noticed I've been watching him. Doesn't run the football quite a bit, but when he does, I mean, he looks like a running back right here. It's a design draw, and you can see right here, he puts the jets on a little bit, makes a move. Most quarterbacks will get down at that point in time, but he's looking to run somebody over.
One of the reasons why he was Division I Coach Player of the Year. He can get it done through the air, he can do it with the legs. He picked up the first down. This is Anner. Anner straight ahead for a couple.
Got it to the 6.
Orlando Scales in on the tackle. You'll hear that name quite a bit tonight.
Tackled by Zachary Offenreich.
Orlando Scales is definitely a playmaker on the defensive line. Comes in with 6.5 sacks. 6'2", 240, and very mobile.
He gets a lot of the pub. Keep an eye on 54, Nick Daffin, because that's a kid that made a lot of plays when we saw him at Cincinnati. 2nd and goal now. Pitch outside. This is Anner. Got some blocking up front. Cuts inside. And knocked down at about 2.
Jacob Lindsay came from his linebacker position and tracked that one down, and here you go, see? No love for Mike Anner. He gets him down there, and here comes Hinkle. Hinkle comes in at the tailback position, McVay comes in at fullback. They like this formation at short yardage.
And they were very successful last week.
Hinkle had 3 scores out of this formation last week. He also scored on a blocked punt.
McVay's going to line up to the right. And now he motions. This is Hinkle on the carry. He's got the room, and he's got another touchdown. And Ignatius has opened up a huge lead with 8:56 left to go in the first half.
And Mike, Scott McVay put his defensive man on skates and opened up an easy hole for Hinkle to put in the end zone. That was all about the McVay block.
You saw the first guy to hug him was Anner.
Yep.
He came off the field.
Yep. Look at that. You can see McVay there's nobody near him. McVay just put his guy on skates.
Kind of strung Steve Newman out there, defensive end. And there's a look at Pat Hinkle.
All he does is score touchdowns.
It is up and good. So 9 carries on the season for Mr. Hinkle and 7 touchdowns coming in. Make it number 8. Ignatius opening up a 21-0 lead here at Boston Stadium. Welcome back to Fawcett Stadium. Cleveland St. Ignatius over Cincinnati Elder, 21-0. They've had the ball 3 times. They've scored 3 touchdowns.
Well, Mike, they're firing on all cylinders. They're playing excellent defense. They stopped Elder, came up with a turnover with the McVay interception. Great special teams. Frankie DeSico with a nice return to set up that last touchdown, give him a short field, and offensively, 3 plays or three drives, 3 touchdowns. That was quick.
6 plays, 36 yards. 2 minutes and 5 seconds. You saw Hinkle go in for the touchdown.
I still don't think it's fair to Mike Anner. I'm gonna post that website. I'm gonna be blogging. Why can't Anner score touchdowns?
St. Ignatius averaging over 8 yards a play here in the early going. Franklin, kicking underway. This is Farrell going to field it at his 7. Follows the wedge, gets out to the 20, and across the 20, and that's where the Panthers will take over here in the second quarter. Well, Farmers Insurance agents across the Buckeye State would like to extend their thanks and appreciation to the more than 330,000 student athletes, their coaches, and the fans in attendance here tonight, and also those watching at home. Sports Time Ohio for their involvement in high school athletics. Extracurricular activities are vital to the health of each Ohio community, and Farmers is proud to support Ohio communities and the 101-year tradition that is the OHSAA. Good luck to all the participating teams and their fans. Farmers Insurance gets you back where you belong. Well, 1st and 10 from their 23. Adam Brown finds a hole. Brown still on his feet out across the 25.
The Elder's got to take a collective, big, deep breath right now. Get settled down, run the football a little bit, get Adam Brown involved, get Mark Miller some confidence, and take some time up here and put a drive together. I'm not sure that so sure they expected Ignatius to come out firing like they have, but you know what? It is what it is. You're going to face adversity in games like this, and you got to bounce back.
Brown picking up 5. 2nd and 5 from the 28. Miller got to take off. Got a lot of room on the right side. The first down and more. 45 and just shy of midfield. He's knocked down by Sean Fisher.
With nobody open on that play, the play was designed to go to the left. Good coverage again by the Ignatius secondary. And once again, great recognition. Mark Miller feels the opening there to the right. He's got a lead blocker out there. That was Alex Welch who put the block on Danny Fox.
That's a pretty good collision. 6'5" against 6'5". Wham!
Well, head snap on that one.
Absolutely. Picked up 21. Miller straight drop. Under pressure. Miller steps up. Can't find anybody, and he goes down. Ryan Carr comes up with the sack for St. Ignatius.
Well, so far, Ignatius is winning the battle of getting pressure on the opposing quarterback. Ryan Carr's going to pick that one up. There's a whole lot of blue shirts in that in the backfield, forcing Mark Miller to get rid of the football or tuck it before he wants to.
Loss of 2 on the sack, 2nd and 12. Cincinnati Elder at their own 47. 7 minutes, 12 seconds left to go here, 2nd quarter. Out in the flat. Diving catch by Michael Bell Prince, but he couldn't hang on. Pat Hinkling in on the coverage for the Wildcats.
And what I'm seeing is the Ignatius secondary is really sitting down. They're squatting on all the routes right here. The one thing I'm not seeing by Elder is the speed to get vertical. They're throwing a lot of crossing routes and out cuts, and you see the good coverage there. And because the defensive backs for Ignatius know that, they're squatting. And I think at some point Elder's got to try to stretch them vertically to keep them honest.
Oh, Prince nearly came up with that catch. That was a great effort. 3rd and 12 now. And a big 3rd and 12 here. Elder really needs to keep this football. He's going downfield. He's got Tim O'Connor with a great catch. 1st down, Panthers.
Got it one-on-one with Corey Gillislee, and there's the vertical stretch. Great read by Mark Miller, and Tim O'Connor comes up with a play when Elder needed it desperately. 3rd and long, you do not want to punt it back to Ignatius right now. Look at that throw, and boys, you go up and get it. That's pretty good coverage too.
41 yards on the pass and catch over the outstretched hand of Corey Gillislee. What a great catch by the senior. Nice to have a 6'4" receiver to throw to.
Well, and a clutch catch too. That's they desperately needed that play.
Handoff. This is Gramke. Gramke's got a hole. Crashes over the left side. Still on his feet. Gramke rumbles down to the 5. Dan Fox in on the tackle.
Well, the Elder crowd has been very quiet so far tonight, which is highly unusual for them. But Gramke gave him something to cheer about there. He ran right over Sean Fisher.
Player down on the field, and it looks like it might be Austin Bujnak. I believe that's 76, and that would not be a good sign.
No.
1st team All-Ohio, headed to University of Cincinnati, anchors the left side of that line at 6'5", 265 pounds. The trainers are taking a look at him.
And they have some size on that left side between him and John Onefsky at 6'3", 280. Been pretty successful running to the left side behind those two.
Lefty or screen at 76, blocking, and it looks like somebody ran into that left leg, and you see him go down.
Looked like Jake Hahn fell into the back. That's typically you get in a pile like that. His center fell in the back of his ankle.
Well, I shouldn't even say he went down. He just kind of limped off.
Well,
he's a big guy.
Well, it looked like kind of a deer got shot, and he didn't quite go down, and he ran halfway across the field, and then he went down. Let's hope he's okay, though.
Are currently on sale here at Boston Stadium. Get yours today.
Now, while they take a look at him, let's take a look at Cincinnati Elders state mat. Now they got here out of Hamilton County. And the GCL, a lot of good teams in the GCL. You want to talk about testing. It's you go play in the GCL, you'll know what I'm talking about. A lot of good football teams coming out of Cincinnati. Finished the regular season at 9-1. Big wins in the playoff. Coleraine and Pickerington Central, 2 of the top teams in the state. And you see they've outscored opponents by a 2-1 margin. And you see what they've done, not only rushing, but look at the passing yardage. Over 3,000 yards and 32 touchdowns for the team. And that is not a good sign, as Austin Bujnak is being helped off. And you hear the fans chanting his name, the Elder faithful.
Boy, you hate to see that. That's he's not putting any weight on it. And on a cold night like tonight, that's going to swell up quickly.
So he will be attended to. And that'll bring up 2nd and 4 now from the 6. They can still pick up a 1st down in this drive to 2. 6-14 and counting here. Opening half of football, going up into the corner, and he was looking for Alex Welch, and it's picked off. Dan Fox comes up with the interception, or Ignatius, their 2nd one of the night. So it was the battle of the two 6'5 players, and Danny Fox won that one.
What a great play by Dan Fox going up and get that ball. And a little surprised Mark Miller made this throw. He's trying to throw to his tight end, Alec Welch. Throws it high, but boy, Danny Fox goes up and gets it. Does he get his foot in? Yeah, he does. Wow, what a play. Got to be careful throwing the ball horizontally down here. When you're down near the end zone, you don't want to turn it over going in. And big mistake by Mark Miller.
Wow, got both feet in bounds. Impressive. Very impressive. So Ignatius backed up on their one after the interception by Fox. And Holland's going to throw. He's going downfield. Joey Paris is picked off. So Elder answers back. Zach Altrieb comes up with the interception for Cincinnati Elder as Andrew Holland threw the home run ball for Joey Paris.
Going for the throw back up in their own end zone and just a little bit underthrown. And boy, Ottenreed does a great job playing center field, going up and getting the football and hanging on, coming down. Can't underthrow the deep ball. Boy, that's a great catch. Good concentration as he bounces off the ground. And time for Cincinnati Elder to make a play offensively. They got down to the last time, but you see the turnovers hurting them. 2 interceptions by Mark Miller.
See if he can do something with this turnover here. 1st and 10 in Ignatius territory. They're 35. Straight drop for Miller. Miller feeling the pressure. McVay comes up for the sack. So Ignatius generating a lot of pressure on Mark Miller tonight. And another sack for the defense.
Mike, with Brujnak out, you wonder defensively if Ignatius is going to bring more heat than they already bring. And boy, McVay he's such a good blitzer. They put him in a lot of different spots. They bring him up the middle, they bring him off the edge, and he just gets there so quick.
5.5 left to go here, 2nd quarter. Loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13. That's Del Prince in motion. Miller, blitz again. And a nice catch over on the sideline by Tim O'Connor. So O'Connor stretches out, makes a nice catch, picks up the 1st down for Cincinnati Elder.
Just going to run a little bit of an out cut here, fakes in, outside, well-thrown ball, nice catch. Gets his hands out, brings it to his body.
Send it down to Katie Witham for Farmers Insurance Sideline Report. She's got more on Austin Brujnak.
Yeah, guys, I'm standing over here next to Austin. He's sitting on the bench, and it's definitely his left knee. He was not able to put any pressure on it coming off the field. You guys saw that, and they were over here doing what looked like to me some ACL tests. He does not look happy now. I'm not sure if it might be the ACL or whatnot, but it looks pretty serious. I'll keep you updated, guys.
Thank you, Katie. That is not a good sign for Elder. Adam Brown carries on 1st down.
You hate to speculate, but by the way he walked off, I'd be surprised if he came back tonight not be able to put anything on that knee, and that's a shame.
2nd down, 7 to go.
You got to move forward, and Mark Miller's got to make some plays here. The mismatch, not mismatch, but the guy I'm seeing getting a lot of single coverage is Tim O'Connor. There's so much emphasis covering the other receivers.
That's O'Connor. O'Connor on the slant. And he picks up the 1st down.
A lot of emphasis on watching where Josh Jones is, but Tim O'Connor's pretty good at 6'4", 190, and good throw. Catch him on the in route right there. Tom Hunt's going to bring him down, but he picks up another 1st down. Good catch in traffic.
Bring up a 1st and 10 at the 13. Boy, Elder would love to punch this one in before the half.
I think they'd like to be 21-7 at halftime. They'd be pretty pleased the way this game started.
This is going to be Miller. Miller turns it upfield. Nice run by Mark Miller.
Very good run by Mark Miller. It was over pursued by the Ignatius defense, and the pitch wasn't there, and he did a good job faking and getting it vertical. McVay took him down, but not before he picked up 5. Nice pickup.
Miller not necessarily known for his agility running the football. He's very good throwing the football on the run. And it's crunch time now. He's got 3 scores.
He's got to do a better job down here. Last time the ball got intercepted, and he knows that. Here comes the heat.
It's McVay and Kraft. Throws it up, throws it away. Good pressure up front by Ted Kraft.
The problem for the Elder O-line is Ignatius is only bringing 5, which means they can defend 6 back there. And when they're bringing 5, getting pressure, that's not a good sign up front. Elder had at least 5 to protect, maybe 6 with the back of the backfield. And Miller didn't have time to set his feet.
3 minutes, 14 seconds.
3:14 left to go. So look at Coach Doug Ramsey.
I don't think Coach Ramsey wants a field goal on this drive. He wants 7. Mark Miller's got to sit in there. He might take a hit, but he's got to step and make the throw.
3rd and 6 from the 9. They can pick up a 1st down just inside the 4. Spread offense going up top. For O'Connor, touchdown! Tim O'Connor got Sean Fitzgerald turned around, and he picks up the 1st score of the night for Cincinnati Elder.
Big time play there. Great throw by Mark Miller. Perfectly thrown fade to O'Connor. And O'Connor's going to go up. Just going to set his feet, throw the fade. Watch O'Connor go up with his hands and just keep it up there. Keeps it away from the defender. Fitzgerald and Elder's on the board.
A big touchdown for Cincinnati Elder. Extra point is good. As you look at the Elder faithful, they've got something to cheer about with 3:10 left to go in this opening half. Now 21-7.
21-7 sounds pretty good versus 21-0. There's still some time left here, 3:10. And you wonder too, you know, the bus ride up here, it's a 4-hour bus ride. They came up today. And, you know, when you talk to the coaches, they're not going to make a big deal out of it. But I'm telling you, that you get a team a little bit out of their rhythm. It takes them a while. You're sitting so long all day long, and you got to play a game that night, late, you know, game at 7 o'clock. And you know, the way this game started, boy, Ignatius came out firing right away, and Elder just couldn't quite get it going. And you know, here we are halfway through the 2nd quarter, and they're finally, the offense finally shows up.
And a big score there for Cincinnati Elder. Anthony Milano will do the kicking. Kevin Johnson, Frank DeSico back deep for Cleveland St. Ignatius. 21-7. 3:10 left, 2nd quarter. This Division I state championship game, our final one of championship weekend here on Sports Time Ohio. Hope you had a chance to watch some of the other games that we brought to you, 6 of them live here. And of course, all the games here from Fawcett Stadium were in HD. That one is touchback. Well, are you a high school sports fanatic? Then OhioHSSports.com is the place for you. Browse through hundreds of archived games, highlights, and interviews, access team and player stats, or upload photos for a chance to win $100. OhioHSSports.com, where high school sports play. Oh, 1st and 10 for Ignatius. And Andrew Holland has 3 minutes, 10 seconds to operate here as they start out from the 20. And he's going to start out throwing. Feels the pressure, steps up, looking for Connor Ryan. Lando Scales, Nick Daffin kind of forced him to throw it a little bit sooner than he would have liked.
Well, that's the first time tonight that Andrew Holland had to get picked up off the ground. Good pressure for the D-line for Elder. You see him stepping up in the pocket. They're all 3 going to converge on him. First time he hit the ground. That's a good sign for the Elder defense. And they finally get a chance to at least force him to make a throw before he wanted to.
That'll bring out the chant of the Elder faithful, who are right across from Andrew Holland.
The traveling pit's getting mighty vocal over there right now.
Holland rolling out, under pressure. Holland's got to throw it away. And again, it's Nick Daffin over there with the pressure.
You talked about Nick Daffin bringing the heat. Orlando Scales coming up the middle, and Daffin's going to force him out of the pocket. Good coverage down the field, and all of a sudden, 3rd and 10. Hey, a little momentum shift right here. If Elder can get a stop, they'll get good field position. Can you say 21-14 maybe?
Ignatius 4 for 4 on 3rd down. Holland 0 for 3.
0 for his last 3 with an interception after a hot start. The Elder defense is starting to pick up the intensity.
Holland, 4 wide receiver set, straight drop. Screen pass to Anner. Anner's got blocked. It'll be 4th down.
Well, Jacob Lindsay shut that one down. It looked like he had a chance there. Corey Mason as well. He had a couple offensive linemen out in front of him. Thought he might pick up the 1st down, but Elder stops it.
An interesting story for Ignatius. Mark Myers punting.
Yeah. He shouldn't be out there.
We saw him last week.
Having appendicitis a couple weeks ago, the day of the Glenville game. And here he is. And he played last week versus Hoover.
Short kick. Prince is going to let it bounce, take a big elder bounce. And they'll start at their 49. With 2:15 left to go. Yards on the punt. Take a look at the All-Ohio honorees. Both teams very well represented, as we mentioned at the top of the show. Miller and Holland, the co-offensive players of the year.
And deservedly so. A lot of good athletes out there. And Mark Miller's going to get a short field starting at midfield, 2:15 left. Feeling some mo right now.
We also add in Hinkle, Fox, and Paris for Cleveland St. Ignatius. They were on the second team. Miller going to take off, dives down in Cleveland St. Ignatius territory. Colin Sullivan was there for the tackle.
He's so good at that. When it's not there, he's got that clock ticking in the back of his head. He knows he's got to dive forward, picks up 2 instead of taking a sack.
Fox still moving. Miller in the flat to Grampke. Grampke hit by Hinkle, short of the first down. Bring up third down, clock will continue to move.
That's a good check down right there. A lot of short routes in that play, but he dumps it. Grampke picks up about 3 or 4. He puts him in a third short situation. They'll use one of their timeouts.
1:38 left to go. Doug Ramsey wants to talk it over. On a 3rd and 2, St. Ignatius is 43.
When you wonder what he's thinking if they don't get the first down, do you go for it in a situation like this? A little bit of a dangerous move to go for it. You know, if you don't get it, you'll give Ignatius good field position. But you do trail by 14 points. You really need to get this first down and come away with some points. Even if you get 3 points off this drive, it would be a moral victory given the way this game started.
Let's go over their play. 38 left to go. First half of this Division I state championship game. Wildcats got off to a great start, jumped out to a 21-0 lead. Elder came up with an interception, turned it into 7. And now they're with a big 3rd and 2 right here to try to keep this drive going alive before the half.
When you know you got to be conscious too, if you get them in a man situation, you might have a chance for a big play up top, as well as picking up the first down.
Elder 4 for 5 in 3rd down conversions tonight. We go over the middle. That's Josh Jones. Jones picks up the first down and then some as he gets inside the Cleveland St. Ignatius 30, but brought down at the 28.
We had Colin Sullivan and Seamus Seifring draped over him, but a good catch in traffic and a nice throw by Mark Miller. Just an underneath route right there. Corey Gillisy there as well.
Back to live action. Miller under pressure and he's sacked. Ted Kraft was there along with McVeigh.
Well, that pocket closed up quickly and a quick timeout by Elder.
3rd sack of the night for that Ignatius defense.
That brought Coach Ramsey all the way out to the hash. He is not happy with the pass protection. You can see it break down from the backside. He steps up and it comes up the middle too. McVeigh came loose. The pressure came from the right side and up the middle.
Lost 10 on that play.
When Coach Ramsey was livid. He had that timeout called, I think, before he hit the ground. And you know, I talked about one of my keys was pass protection this game, and you can see by that graphic, Mark Miller's been harassed quite a bit tonight. And not a good time for sack there. It's a 10-yard loss, which may have taken them out of field position to potentially kick a field goal.
Cold conditions for this one tonight. We talked about the weather conditions before the start of this one. Little wind blowing out of the southeast, about 4 miles an hour. Just enough to drop that temperature, make you feel like at game time, it's got to be in the early 20s right now.
These guys don't feel it on the field, though, I promise you.
Comes to spread, an empty backfield for Mark Miller. 2nd and 20. Miller. Nearly picked off by Hinkle. Looking for Michael Del Prince. And the Miami, Ohio recruit had a flash of the end zone come through.
Did. He got a big paw on that one, and boy, Mark Miller's very, very fortunate. That's a guaranteed touchdown if he comes up with that throw. Fortunately for Mark Miller, he threw it on time. Boy, trying to throw for Del Prince.
3rd and 20. Mark Miller checks the wristband. Play comes in with Nicholas Gramke.
Don't need to get it all back here. You're probably in 2-down territory.
Jones in motion. Miller. By the wide open Jones. Jones underneath.
Coming back.
Maybe a holding call as McVay was dragged down. No such thing as a good hold, but that would have been a sack had he not dragged down McVay. Just the first penalty of the game. This has been a well-played football.
McVay was coming off the edge on the backside.
Take a look at tonight's officials. Bruce Boehm is the head umpire, making the calls tonight.
We talked about Austin Booz not going out with the injury, and his replacement Mike McGuire is number 65. He's coming in and replacing him, and of course Ignatius, what they're doing, they're putting McVay on McGuire. You see him coming from left-hand side, he's coming off the outside. Not a bad job blocking right there. Mark Miller's got to step up in that pocket instead of running to his right.
3rd and 39. McVay.
Oh, he's got a lot of room.
Got a man open underneath. Cuts inside. Hinkle. They're going to be short. They'll bring up 4th down. But a huge pickup.
Alex Carswell, he doesn't catch the ball too often, but none bigger than that one. And that, see how Mark Miller stepped up that time. He helped out his guard, or his tackle there, McGuire. And going to put him in a long field goal position here, but they got it back into range where they could potentially make this 48 yards, I believe.
And this is the guy that can do it.
He's got the leg.
Anthony Miliano. As long as 47 on the year. So Ignatius will take a timeout, freeze him up a little bit as if he might not be cold enough. 25 seconds left to go.
Boy, this is within his range, and boy, what a big play by Miller and Carswell to at least give them a shot to attempt a field goal after losing yards on a sack and a penalty. Long of 47, so we're right there. And the bit of wind at his back. It's about a quarter club win, Mike. You know, it's just enough where you can hit maybe a little bit of knockdown shot here.
He's the guy that can do it, that's for sure. With the wind at his back. Cincinnati Elder down by 2 scores, so if they can get this field goal here and cut into that Ignatius lead.
Now these are big points for Elder to close the gap to halftime to 21-10.
Miliano, first team All-Ohio kicker.
He trots off. Change their mind.
And they're going to go back and spread things out.
Well, Coach Ramsey he reconsidered. And I'm telling you, they got to look at O'Connor or Jones vertically down the field.
Empty backfield for Miller. Miller, straight drop, good protection, going downfield, looking for Del Prince. And broken up on the play by Sean Fisher. Looking for Selby Cheetamo. Fisher was there.
It was well defended, and Coach Ramsey not happy with the end result of that play. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't attempt that field goal, though, because I felt like they were in range. Opts to go for it. Those are the tough decisions that head coaches got to make in a game like this. You're always going to get second guessed.
Wildcat side of things. Tom Hunt was there. Break things up along with Fisher. So the kneel down will end the first half. Cleveland St. Ignatius on top 21-7 after this first half of football, Coach.
Impressive first half. The way that Ignatius came out and really took this game, took control of this game early, jumped out 21-0, and Elder bounces back and gets to 7 points. And Cut the deficit at least.
Send it down to Katie Witham, who's standing by with head coach Chuck Kyle.
Coach, your defense has come up big here in the first half. Those 2 interceptions, the first one that set up, you guys able to get on the board there. How do you think this first half has gone?
Well, we're up 21-7, so I'm pleased. But Elder started to get some momentum towards the end there, and you know, we weren't going to just sit by. We came out throwing, and we didn't click. We were clicking in the first part, so we've got to get back at it. And the offense is going to have to help the defense. We had a nice flurry going there. We need to put a couple more in. I think that's pretty obvious. And so we're not looking at any scoreboard. We got to get in there and get a couple more touchdowns in, and the defense has to just keep playing it.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Guys.
Katie Witham with a Farmers Insurance sideline report. Great job, Katie. 21-7 at the half for this Division I state championship game from Fawcett Stadium. Stay tuned for the Farmers Insurance halftime report. Coming back to the studio with Jim Isabella and Mark Schwab. Halftime here at Fawcett Stadium. It's 21-7, Cleveland St. Ignatius. Farmers Insurance halftime report continues here from Fawcett Stadium. A beautiful shot from the Goodyear blimp. They'll be hovering around above us all night long. And right now, it's the Wildcats in control, 21-7 at the half. Hi, everybody. Mike Aarons, Greg Fry, Katie Witham patrolling the sidelines for us. And what a first half it was. St. Ignatius jumped out to the early lead, but the last 10 minutes of this football game, it's been Cincinnati Elder.
Well, Elder's closed the gap, and Ignatius jumps out 21-0. Tremendous first half. Throwing the football all over the yard was Andrew Holland. But since then, you're right, Elder's gained some momentum back. They've scored 7. Had a chance to get a couple late. They opted not to attempt a field goal. They go in down 21-7, but I think at this point, they're still in the game, which is important. The way this game started it really went against them.
And speaking of Andrew Holland, what a start that he did have. The senior, the co-Division I Offensive Player of the Year, got off to a great start here.
Well, he did. A great catch by Carzoni for the first touchdown. Makes a great catch. Goes over to Elder defender in the end zone. Then guess who? Carzoni again catching the football over the middle. Connor Ryan makes a catch, and here's the touchdown to Connor Ryan. Another great catch, perfectly thrown ball. And boy, he came out firing on all cylinders, finding all the receivers.
Quick look at the stats. Rushing yards in favor of Ignatius. Passing yards just about even. You see both teams successful in their third down conversions, but not very many penalties. Just one penalty in this entire first half of football. We'll come back with the second half kickoff here after the Farmers Insurance halftime report wraps up. The second half kickoff from Fawcett Stadium is coming up here on Sports Time Ohio.
If you engage your strength, you can accomplish anything.
Did you know that satellite companies charge you extra for HD? With Time Warner Cable, I get my HD programming for free. And so money I don't spend on HD programming is money I can spend someplace else. Not like sending Matty here to college. Or maybe the Ivy League. I know he's eating paste. A lot of smart people ate paste. Pythagoras, before he came up with that theorem.
Free HD programming? Satellite doesn't have it. Time Warner Cable does.
To learn more about digital cable with free HD, call 1-800-TW-CABLE.
America's biggest automobile company and its dealers want to help get you the loan you need. It's General Motors financing that fits, offering access to millions of dollars and hundreds of lenders to help get you behind the wheel. It's our way of putting you and America in the driver's seat. During the red tag event, the price on the tag is the price you pay. Get a G6 for $19,528 for a total value of $3,057. See your local Buick, Pontiac, GMC dealer.
Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear, reminding you to get there on triple tread technology with 3 unique tread zones for unsurpassed traction in any weather. Send it back down to the sidelines for their Farmers Insurance sideline report. Katie Witham standing by with head coach Doug Ramsey.
Coach, you guys definitely had the momentum going into the locker room. What did you tell the guys, and do you plan to make any adjustments here in the second half?
Well, I told them just that. We kind of had that deer in headlight look early in the game, but I thought from the midpoint of the second quarter on, we controlled the game. They only ran like 4 plays, We started to move the ball a little bit. We got to do a better job in pass protection. I was a little concerned about that coming in. We got to do a better job with that. And we just got to tackle better on defense. We'll have to see. I told them we're going to go down and fight. Win or lose, we're going to come out the second half. We're going to get after it.
Well, someone that went down in that first half was Austin Bouchon. It looked like an ACL, maybe. Do you have any update for us on him?
I don't. I just know that he hurt his knee and he's not going to be coming back in this game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Katie, and a great stat from our #1 stat guy, Tommy Boshemick, to give you an idea of how things changed. The first 18 minutes in this football game for St. Ignatius, 191 yards, 3 touchdowns. The last 6 minutes of the football game, 7 yards, an interception, and a punt.
Elder got some pressure on Andrew Holland. They're going to have to continue that. And Elder's going to get the football to start the second half, see if they can keep that momentum.
And DeFaro going to get it at his 6. Picks up some blocks at the 20, 25, still on his feet at the 30, and good field position to start the second half with the momentum, 26 yards on the return. So Mark Miller going to try to pick up where he left off, because that Panthers offense was starting to move the football, and the defense was starting to shut some things down, so they were getting the complete package.
Well, they played with some emotion and some intensity, and I know Coach Ramsey got after them a little bit in the second quarter, and I'm sure got after them at halftime saying, look, guys, as he said to Katie, we got to go down swinging. These guys are more than capable of getting back in this game.
First and 10 from their 33. That's Adam Brown on the carry.
Nothing doing there. Scott McVay comes off the edge, and it's cleaned up by Ryan Carr.
And no gain there. The Division I State Football Championship, the big school state championship. Mike Aarons, Greg Fry, Katie Witham from Fawcett Stadium on a clear and chilly night. Both teams, the crowds have come out well represent both of these fine schools. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we'll talk to the commissioner, the OHSAA, who's just stepped into our booth, Dr. Dan Ross. Miller under pressure, and from the backside, it's McVay, 4th sack of the night for Cleveland St. Ignatius.
Well, they got pressure, and they run that little bunch route to the right-hand side. We've seen a couple times tonight, and nobody open, good coverage, and McVay's going to come from the backside and clean it up again. And you can see them converge on Mark Miller.
Well, 3rd and 10. You look at Miller's 3rd down tonight, 6 for 7, 109 yards, and a touchdown. He's going to try to do it again. Looking for Tim O'Connor, and it's broken up.
Well, he might have made the catch. Well, he almost made that catch. I thought he caught it on the tip.
Tom Hunt got enough of it to disrupt him, and that'll bring up a punt on the first series. Take another look.
Well, Hunt's going to come up, get a hand on it. The ball's going to bobble. Ooh, I don't know.
Is the red flag out there? Are they challenging that?
Let's have the replay here. I thought right there it came back on his arm.
It looked like it fell on Hunt. He kind of scooped it off of him. DeSico back. DeSico gets the hop at the 30, makes one move, gets out across the 35.
Nice job by Frankie DeSico. Really wisely picks that ball up. Probably saved his offense about 10 yards of field position there by picking it up.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 36. Dr. Dan Ross has joined us. We'll get a chance to talk to him in just a moment as Andrew Holland operates from his own 36. This is Anner over the left side, crashes into that right side. Maybe a yard on the play. Bring up 2nd down. Dr. Ross, thanks for taking a couple minutes. Come up into our world here, a little chilly.
It's a little chilly, but it's also quite chilly down the field.
Obviously, this is a great way to end 6 championships. You've got the champs down from the Cincinnati area. You got champs up here from the Cleveland area. You got a great crowd on a chilly but dry night.
Perfect night for football. You're thinking high 30s or low 40s and no moisture at all. What a great evening. And great crowd, great walk-up crowd from, I think, even people in the Canton area that said, hey, we want to see a great ball game, and made their presence felt tonight.
Holland with the run, that'll bring up 3rd down. And one of the things I want to talk to you about. We talked a little bit about it yesterday at Massillon, and there's all this talk about splitting up Division I, going into a 1 and 1A. And from our conversation last night, I understand the early parts of that process have already begun.
Yes, we have a survey going out to all the D1 schools. The committee made a recommendation to split Division I into a Division I and a Division 1A. And then each of those two divisions would only get them 4 qualifiers to the tournament. And that's probably caused some issues for many of the schools, because a lot of the schools figure that when they go back and look at even in that top 60 schools, they may still be 5th or 6th. And so if they cut that to 4, they would never make it. So you'd end up with a new bottom. And so I think there's an awful lot of coaches that believe Ohio has probably the best system in the country for putting people into the playoffs, and that system has worked well. And if it's not going to be a system that's going to greatly improve how we do our business, then kind of leave the system alone.
Anner picked up the first down. The first down play for Connor Ryan overthrown, so it'll bring up second down. How about the situation here with the contracts at Boston Stadium? So much talk about what obviously is one of the greatest high school venues anywhere in the country.
Well, I think even with that, the last 2 weeks, ESPN survey of high school facilities in the country, Fawcett ended up first and Massillon ended up 9th or 10th. So the 2 of the top facilities in the country are right here in the same county. We're in year 2 of our contract. Year 3 would be 2009. We have an option for 2010 and an option for 2011. The board is going to be making a decision probably soon after the first of the year about whether you pick up the option, so then that would be 3 years left here in Canton.
Third down coming up, and around the carry, and we're closing in. We close out on one season, but the beautiful thing is high school sports continue. We just roll right into basketball, and here we go again.
Basketball, wrestling, bowling, swimming, and diving are all off and rolling, and that's wonderful. Just finishing up the fall, and we're just another group of athletes that'll get started and let their dreams happen, just like the football dreams are happening.
Hey, can we stay with football right now? You know, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Right? You know, let's hang on to football as long as we can.
I know, and we have a lot of dreams being realized on this field tonight too.
Yes, we do.
Joey Paris comes up with a first down catch. And speaking of the sport, Sportstown Ohio is your home for the OHSAA championships earlier this month. Coach Carol Russo and I brought you live coverage of the girls volleyball championships from Wright State. Don't forget to join us in March as we once again will bring you live coverage of the boys and girls basketball finals from Columbus. And there are a lot of championship events coming up. Flags were flying on that place, so we'll be covering the rest of the school year. As you mentioned, we got bowling coming up as you take a look in March. Hockey on the 15th. We got girls and boys basketball. And then softball, June the 6th. But I really enjoyed our time at Wright State covering the girls volleyball championships, and we'll look forward to that. And before you know it, we'll be back down in Columbus, and it'll be basketball time.
That'll be awesome. And we're going to end up with baseball also at the new Huntington Park in Columbus, which is the home of the Cleveland Indians AAA farm team now. And that'll be a wonderful venue for our high school baseball finals.
That's a great looking facility so far. I drive by it every day. It's going to be awesome.
It is gorgeous.
Well, you have done a great job, certainly in your tenure and where you've taken the OHSAA, and you certainly have a lot of great people that you work with. You and your assistant commissioners are spread very thin this time of year, with some people down the road, some people here, and you guys do a great job, and you really have a lot of people to thank and help you out along the way.
Well, we're blessed because we have such a great team of people, not only in our office, but across Ohio. STO, I mean, what a great partner that has been for high school sports and all of the exposure that it's given young people and in the high school athletic venues across Ohio that you've visited. We have a great team of people working, the volunteers that are working through all of our championships. We're blessed. We have a great team of people that love kids and love high school sports and just eat, sleep, and live high school sports day to day.
Well, we appreciate you stopping up here in the booth, taking a couple of minutes. Always good to see you. And, you know, this is one commissioner that makes his way around. I've seen him at some playoff games. I'm wondering, what the heck is he doing here? I try to get as many as I can, but you've done a great job. Thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us.
Thank you very much, and thanks, STO, for the care and the support you've given young people in Ohio through
coverage of the high school athletic events.
Just pick another sport, we'll be there.
Thank you, and have a great holidays, guys.
You
Take
too.
care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Dan Ross, the commissioner. Always good to see him.
Thanks, Dan.
I'll tell you, he's been at some games. There's been some places he's shown up, and I was down covering a game down in Wheelersburg. It was Wheelersburg and Portsmouth, you know, down on the border, Kentucky, and I turn around on the sideline, and there's the commissioner. He said, this is a great rivalry. I can't miss this game. It's a Friday night.
He does get around.
So after a well-played first half penalty-wise, we've run into some laundry here out on the field. And Ignatius with the football, but they're going to be backed up into their own territory after that last penalty.
The Elder defense is coming out with some intensity here in the second half. Ignatius is going the wrong way, which they have not done all night.
2nd and 24 from the 49. They got to get down to the 27 for a first down. 4 wide receiver set. Here comes the pressure. Blitz from the outside, picked up. Holland on the move, and he has Connor Ryan. Ryan sets a tackle. 20, 15, got 1 man to beat. Dives in. Did he get a touchdown?
Yeah.
Connor Ryan goes 51 yards for the score.
There's Bedlam on the Ignatius sideline. Connor Ryan comes back to the football. Andrew Holland buys some time. He caught Elder in the blitz. When he finds Connor Ryan, watch him step up in the pocket. Doesn't get a chance to set his feet, but great throw. And watch the break, missed tackle right here. Jonathan Taylor misses the tackle, and Connor Ryan knows where to go. He is going to find the end zone. Laying out.
So Connor Ryan goes 51 yards. And just like that, 3 catches, 89 yards, and he's got a touchdown. The touchdowns have been spread around for Chuck Kyle's Wildcats. And with 6:07 left to go, they're up 28-7 as you take another look.
Elder brought the heat. Anytime you do that, you take a risk. And Ignatius is going to make them pay.
28-7, Cleveland St. Ignatius. A look at Connor Ryan, who's picked up his 2nd touchdown of the evening as he goes 51 yards from Andrew Holland. Holland having a good night, 11 of 18, 184 yards, 3 touchdowns. And that 1 interception. He's thrown to 5 different receivers in that spread offense.
You spread the wealth, and Connor Ryan, boy, what a great effort. I love it. Gets to the 10-yard line, and he's just going to sell out for the end zone.
Nesty iced tea, baby.
9 plays, 64 yards, 422 with a capper by Connor Ryan. Another big play by a special receiver.
What a momentum killer there. Elder had backed up. Ignatius making mistakes.
No, you're right.
And on a 2nd and 24, they go 51 yards.
Those are the ones. That's a backbreaker for a defense. That's a backbreaker.
So Ben Cafaro, Michael Del Prince back deep, awaiting the kick from Jesse Franklin. This will be Cafaro at his 9. It's up behind the wedge, 20-25, and tackled there. So Mark Miller and company got to get something going here. Down by 3 scores.
They're down 3 scores now, and that gap becomes wider, and all of a sudden that clock becomes the enemy with 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They've got plenty of time, but that Ignatius defense is just stifling. They don't give up too many big plays, and Elder needs big plays now.
I don't think you'll see a lot of guys in that backfield for long unless they're back there to block, because Ignatius has got a ton of pressure coming from the outside. Scott McVay has done a great job of pressuring Mark Miller all night long. Miller on the straight drop. Miller going up top, wants it all, looking for Josh Jones. Well covered by Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, looking to hit the home run early right there, trying to get it back in 1 play.
Sean Fitzgerald showing a little speed there. Josh Jones, track star at Elder.
Yeah, he was right on the tip.
And he was right there.
It's a well-thrown ball. Miller put it up nice and high, and Josh Jones might have jumped a little bit early this time to jump.
Talking to Chuck Kyle before the game, we mentioned his defense practicing against his offense. They basically practice against this offense every day.
Well, when you get the 2 great receivers right there, you can't get a better scout team look than those 2.
Pressure again from McVay. Miller on the roll. He's got Del Prince. And that is where Mark Miller is just so deadly. And that's exactly what Coach Kyle had talked about. He throws on the run better than any quarterback we've seen all year long.
That's a big-time play right there. Finds Del Prince in the opening, and Ignatius puts McVay on the right-hand side now. Look at this throw. It's not an easy throw when you're rolling to your right. A little bit of a dangerous throw, but Del Prince was open in the seam.
Perfect strike. And that'll put the ball in Cleveland St. Ignatius territory. 5.5 left to go. Pitch outside to Del Prince. And Seamus Seifring's over there to shut things down. Actually, all three linebackers over there. Colin Sullivan as well.
Once again, in a situation like this, a lot of time left. You've got to be patient on offense. You want to go a bit up-tempo. You don't have to get it all back in one play, but that first score is so important. You got to get the first one. Make it 28-14. If you can get there to start the fourth quarter, you never know. You're in the ball game.
Bring up a 2nd and 7 from the Ignatius 46-yard line. Miller's got a pocket fumble. Picked up. Gramke got it. And Gramke is going to run for first down.
And then some.
How about that? Nicholas Gramke. Pat Hinkle in on the tackle, but disaster averted by Nick Gramke.
Well, I've got to think that was McVay, the human wrecking ball coming from the right-hand side. Again, look, he puts the pressure. He runs right through Alex Welch. Gets a hand on the ball, and Gramke, Johnny on the spot, he's running over people. Pat Hinkle takes a ride.
Not before he picks up the first down. From the 38. Miller under pressure. It's McVay again. 5th sack of the night.
They got to put two guys. There's just no doubt. You got to put two guys on him. Pass protection is critical at this point in time, and they just continue to move him around, and they're bringing him on the right side right now. He's coming through every single time.
First team All-Ohio Junior says, what offense? We got some defense in this football game.
Gramke had him that time and unable to contain him. Mark Miller tries to step up, but man, he's just so quick. He's such an effective blitzer.
2nd and 15. Josh Jones in motion. Miller. He's got O'Connor. O'Connor defended by Dan Fox.
And poor Mark Miller sitting back there. He's, sometimes you're at home watching, well, the quarterback's got happy feet. Well, of course he does. I mean, when number 40's coming after you every single play, you're trying to look downfield, but you got to be conscious of where he is. But a nice pickup. Miller comes right back and finds O'Connor.
I would imagine that when you hear the train coming, that'll make your feet move.
He just brings the heat.
5 wide receiver set. Selby Cheatham is checked in for a 3rd and 4 from the Ignatius 32. Empty backfield. Miller straight drop. Has a receiver open in the flat. It's O'Connor, and he lays down for the first down.
Good read by Mark Miller. He had the flats open on both sides of the field. Understands the situation. 3rd and 4. Takes the easy throw. And you got to understand defensively here in a situation like this, they'll play soft coverage-wise. They got a 3-touchdown lead. They're going to give you the underneath throws. You can still take those right now. But you have to get the first touchdown to get back in the ballgame.
And the clock continues to move. Coming up on 3 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the 25. Here's Miller again. Stepping up, and he's down.
He had a seam. If he could get through, and that was Seifring that time. They got a hand on it enough to bring him down. And Ignatius just continues to bring the heat left and right. And sometimes as a coordinator at this point in time, you got to move the pocket. They try to get him a little bit out to the left there, but if you can move the pocket, you get better protection, and you can roll off that pass rush. There's only so many times you can just sit there and drop back.
So that will go down as a sack. Miller steps up, fires, and he wanted his tight end, Alex Welch. Colin Sullivan in on coverage for Cleveland St. Ignatius.
Well, once again, it was disrupted by number 40, Scott McVay, coming off the edge. Miller had to throw that ball about 1/8 of a second before he wanted to because of the pressure.
And in quarterback talk, that ball was coming in hot. If you're the receiver, that thing was smoked.
Well, Welch didn't have a chance to totally get his head turned around before the ball was thrown.
6 for 9. 3rd down conversions tonight. This is a long one. 3rd and 15. Over the middle, Connor takes a shot.
Fisher.
Sean Fisher delivers and separates Timmy O'Connor from the football will bring up 4th down.
Well, that would have been a great catch, and I always tell the receivers, you're going to get a hit, you might as well catch it anyway, but this one, that's a big shot by Sean Fisher, and again, guess who's coming, puts a hit on Mark Miller.
They're going to go for this.
I think they should. If the ball's into 30.
Mark Miller told all of his guys, stay on the field. He went over and talked to Coach Doug Ramsey.
Not so sure a field goal does you a lot of good at this point in time. It gets you 3 points, but they can pick this up.
Granke's going to be kept in. He picks up McVay. Goes downfield. Has a man. Wanted Michael Del Prince. Came up short. Dan Fox in coverage. And the ball turned over to Cleveland St. Ignatius.
Ignatius is only rushing 4 or 5, and really the only one that matters is McVay. He's getting pressure every single time, and Elder can't find an answer. And Coach Ramsey talked at halftime about the importance of pass protection. It was one of my keys tonight, and they're struggling with it. They got to put 2 guys on him, or they got to move the pocket, and they just not been able to do that in the second half.
Kevin Johnson has checked in. He is the deep back for St. Ignatius, and he'll carry the football. Tried to hop over the right side. Nick Daffin is there on the tackle for Elder. And this is how St. Ignatius got here out of Cuyahoga County. Playing a real tough schedule as an independent. They play a lot of these GCL teams, so they
might as well be in the GCL.
They're very aware of the Cincinnati teams with Moeller and Elder and X.
They played LaSalle, St. Xavier, they're playing Elder.
See their wins over St. Ed's, Glenville, Strongsville, and Hoover last week, which you saw here on Sports Time Ohio. Congratulations to Mr. Football, Eric Howard. Hoover. That's Mike Anner back in, and Corey Mason comes up in on the tackle. A well-deserved Mr. Football in Eric Howard as a junior. Just the 2nd junior in history. You know who's number 1? Robert Smith. Come on, alumni.
I should know that. No, I do. It's.
I know you do.
He, probably the best freshman player I've ever seen at the college level. As smart as he was as a running back, not only could he run the ball well, but he could catch it. And a great blocker offensively, which probably never got a lot of credit for that.
3rd and 4. Ignatius 6 of 7 on 3rd downs, and there was a ton of pressure on Andrew Holland. Nick Daffin came up from behind and slammed into Holland, knocked him out of bounds. Zach Autenrieb was there as well. You know, in speaking of Robert Smith, I didn't grow up around here, but talking to people who watched him play in high school, they said it wasn't even close. There was no question. A lot of people feel it's probably the greatest high school football player to come out of the state of Ohio.
He was amazing, no doubt about it. I mean, I can't tell you how impressed I was as what he did as a freshman. I was a senior. He played a lot as a freshman. Had over 1,000 yards.
Myers in a kick. Del Prince, fair catch called for at his 30. He drifts back to the 26. And that'll put Elder on offense, and that'll bring out Scott McVay in the Wildcats defense. And this 6'1", 220-pound junior has been everywhere tonight.
He's been a one-man wrecking crew. He's come from the left side, the right side, and most recently the whole last series from the right side. Got an interception, quarterback pressures, quarterback sacks. But what hasn't he done?
Interceptions, sacks. He's had just a whale of a football game tonight.
They've got to make an adjustment to protection. They flat out have to.
Well, they're adjusting to wherever he is. You see Gramke kind of line up to spot him. Gramke's battling with him right now. Miller's free, throwing on the run. Diving catch by Tim O'Connor for the first down. What a great catch by number 3. His 10th catch of the night. That was a beauty.
That was a great catch, and you know, Nicholas Gramke, he's the one that drew the short straw here. He's the one blocking McVay, but look at this throw on the run. Throws it out where only O'Connor can get it. Great concentration to make that play.
29 yards on the pickup. I think they should just have Miller throwing the run more often. You got McVay pressure, why don't you?
Seriously, they just get him on the edge.
In the pocket, got time. He's looking for Josh Jones, but threw it behind him.
Oof, and they had the Ignatius defense collapsed on the curl right there. Del Prince was running like an arrow route, but boy, the wheel route's there.
Corey Gillisey was in on coverage.
Dan Fox came in and cheated in a little bit. And so did Gillislee, really eyeing up Josh Jones, who's been very quiet tonight. O'Connor making a lot of the plays. I think you've got to spread the ball around and find Josh Jones a little bit more. And Del Prince.
2nd and 10 from the 45. 24 seconds left here in the quarter. Miller going for the home run ball. He wants Josh Jones up top.
Got him.
Jones makes it! Touchdown! The Cincinnati recruit got 6.
What a great throw by Mark Miller. Throws it high to the outside so Josh Jones can run under it. And, well, I said that Elder had to get within 14 to end the quarter, and Josh Jones is going to put him there. Well, what a rainbow throw. Perfectly thrown ball.
45 yards on the catch. His 2nd of the night. And the extra point is blocked. Dan Fox got in there and blocked it for Ignatius. 6'4", 225-pounder. He's on his way to Notre Dame, and he got a hand on that one. And that's going to hurt. 28-13. Ignatius. Take another look.
The pressure came up the middle. Yeah, there's Fox coming through. You're right. Gets the hand up just enough. He came from the left-hand side, and boy, you don't want to miss an extra point here. But the important thing for Elders, they did get the score. They're going to cut the deficit. They got a shot into the 4th quarter. You know, if you imagine they can score one more, then you think about going from 2. And if you get within 1 score, they'd be pretty happy the way this game has transpired.
Mark Miller now 15 of 28. 197 yards, a couple of touchdowns.
And if you're Ignatius offensively, you know, Coach Kyle mentioned it at halftime. He knew he had to come out and score 1 or 2 more times. And if he can put 1 more on, that's going to make it tough for Elder. They're going to start running out of time.
Kevin Johnson, Frank DeSico back to return this kick. This will be Kevin Johnson. Bounced through his legs and out of bounds. And a rough place to start for St. Ignatius. So it'll be marked out of bounds at the 3. So another break for Elder. Take another look.
Got that in between hop, kind of like a third baseman. He didn't quite read it well enough, and it goes low. And oof. Tough way to start for the Ignatius offense. Last time they were down here, they tried to go up top, and the ball was intercepted.
Connor Ryan will spread wide right. Joey Paris up top to the left. They'll mark it at the 4. Anner, the deep back. LaGuardia, the up back. This is Anner over the left side. Follows the block of LaGuardia.
Elder brought the heat, but they're going to pick up a couple yards to close out the 3rd quarter. We got a ball game, Mike.
We sure do. 45-yard touchdown pass from Mark Miller, and it's 28-13 as we head to the 4th quarter. Get set to start the 4th quarter, and the Wildcats will have their back to their own end zone. A 2nd and 7 from the 7. Anner in the eye, the deep back, follows the block of LaGuardia, and nothing doing there. David Peters comes up on the tackle.
So this Elder defense, with the exception of 1 big play to Connor Ryan in the last drive, they've really stepped it up since the 1st quarter. Good pressure by Peters, coming aggressively from that linebacker position. Comes off a block and shuts it down.
Actually lost a yard on the play.
Anner's a little woozy coming off the field.
He is. He's slow to come off the field as Kevin Johnson and Frank DeSico check in. There's a look at number 22. He's holding his head.
Yeah, he took a shot there.
So Ignatius with a big 3rd down here. 6 of 8. If Elder can stop him, they'll win the battle of field position. Have a chance to get
great opportunity for Elder right here.
It's going to be Holland on the straight drop. Holland over the middle, and he had Perisoni open, but he overthrew him. He had him and just overthrew him. 4th down.
Jonathan Taylor fell down. If Perisoni catches that ball, that might be a 93-yarder. He fell down, and the pressure just forced that throw to be a little bit high. You can see 24 there. Jonathan Taylor slipped. But Elder stops him, and they're going to get good field position. You can feel that momentum shift a little bit. Question is there enough time left?
I think you saw Taylor look up at the sky and say a little prayer. His head went straight up like, whoop, did we just miss one? Second straight 3 and out as Myers lets one go. Del Prince will field it and then fumbles it and then falls on the football. He picked it up in St. Ignatius territory, fumbled it back into Elder territory. So they'll take over 1st and 10 from their 47. Take a look at the stats through 3 quarters. And boy, there have been some swings in this football game. And right now, it's swinging back into the favor of Elder.
Look at the sacks. 7 sacks and 0 for Elder. And Mark Miller has been harassed all night long, but he's hanging in there. That's the mark of a great quarterback. He's tough. Made a big play the last time. He found Jones for a touchdown to get him close.
Del Prince in motion. Straight drop. Miller going up top. Has Tim O'Connor. O'Connor leaps up and nearly made the catch. Fisher breaks it up. Tom Hunt back there on coverage as well.
Really, O'Connor did a good job playing defensive back there because he was outnumbered 2-1, and he went up and literally knocked that play down. It was wise on his part. And at the beginning of that play, Mark Miller took a shot again. A lot of pressure on him. Just barely enough time to get rid of that throw.
Mark Miller's throwing 17 balls to his receiver, and 10 of them have gone to number 3.
Elder can't forget the run. I'm sorry, Mike. Elder can't forget the run to football. They got enough time left here.
Pressure again, and guess who's there? Sack number 8, Scott McVeigh. Have to start looking at the record books pretty soon here.
Well, that's the thing. They're just pinning their ears back because Elder's not running the football, and the only success Elder's had has been throwing it. But they've got a good running game. You still have time here to run the football, and that will take a little bit of heat off the pass rush.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that much time. He had a lot of time to throw. We should give credit to that secondary for the Wildcats. For 3rd and 14 from their own 43. 10.5 left to go. Plenty of time for Miller. Has O'Connor on the sideline, but he's going to be short.
Did he
out of bounds.
They're going to say he didn't get it in. What a catch.
Another great catch by O'Connor. That'll bring up 4th down, though.
I want the replay. I'm throwing the red flag.
Here it is.
Did he get the foot down? Look at him go up. And
great call.
Yeah, very good call.
Great call.
Very good call. Good coverage by Tom Hunt there.
DeSico's going to be back in that one. Nearly blocked. Sean Fisher got in on it, got a hand. DeSico fields it. And is 22. Gets out to the 30. That was a great chance for Elder.
It was. They really missed an opportunity there. Got good field position. They muffed the punt. I think that cost them maybe 10 yards or so, and unable to convert. Cut the deficit.
34 yards on the punt, 7 on the return. A lot of pressure, a lot of sacks for the Wildcats tonight.
Well, and number 40's been in the mix most of the times. Comes from the right side, comes from the left side, comes from the right again.
Back to live action, Andrew Holland off the fake. Nick Daffin comes up with the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by Daffin to run him down.
This Elder defense is selling out in the second half. They've brought good pressure. They've definitely contained the running game of Mike Anner.
Take a look at that graphic right there. Shut out 2 of the 4 playoff opponents, allowed just 14 points total in the first 4 games. They've only given up 7.6 points for the season.
You've got to earn your points against these guys. They're not going to give it to you.
So Elder's scored almost as many points as Ignatius has given up in the entire postseason.
Well, that's Peters again coming off the block. Orlando Scales makes the tackle, but David Peters is the one that gets the pressure in the backfield. Good to see Anner back in there. He got banged up a little bit in that last drive.
Orlando Scales on the tackle. Anner calling for a face mask. You can see him making the gesture.
You see Coach Kyle Payson over there. It's a lot of nerves running through there right now. And as a coach, you got to walk it off. You can't sit still. He knows what's at stake. The play clock's running down.
3rd and 7. 3 left on the play clock. Holland gets it off. Holland goes up top. Harris makes the catch. First down. Ignatius in front of Zach Osman.
We caught him in man coverage, play action pass, and he knows where he's going with this. Steps up in the pocket. Good throw on the post. Joe Parrish, and I'm not so sure he's the first receiver though. I've seen this play at a tight end drag, he had a dig on the backside. That might have been his 4th receiver, but because he recognized the coverage, saw the man-to-man, threw the ball on time, and makes it look easy. It's not easy.
Sure did. 23 yards on the pickup. 1st and 10 now from the Elder 44. There's a handoff to Anner on the delay. Corey Mason in on the tackle.
And that clock, that first down pickup was huge for Ignatius because they're going to run the football now. They got across midfield. You're going to see Anner probably a couple times in a row and burn that clock down. It's 8 minutes now, and they could probably get it down to 5 or 6 if they can maybe even pick up another first down. Good for the Elder. You got to make stops now. Now there's no tomorrow.
So Anner's the deep back. McVeigh has been brought in the block. Boy, and a great job. Corey Mason comes in there on the tackle, and a great job by Elder. Zach Autenried, number 22, coming up from his safety position to make the stop.
Corey Mason comes to the backside like a lightning bolt, puts Anner on the ground quickly.
And McVeigh will check out.
We saw Corey Mason a couple weeks ago in the game against Coleraine, and making a lot of plays. He can run laterally as good as anybody.
This will be the 11th third down attempted by Ignatius tonight. They're 7 for 10. 7 minutes left on the clock. Holland, straight drop. Holland eludes one tackle. Throws on the run. It's knocked down. Great job by Dominic Palmasiano.
Good job. A little bit of contact there. It's a good no call.
Palmasiano got the hand in.
Trying to find Carazoni on the sideline, but pressure up the middle forces Holland out of the pocket. Really not much room there, and he almost squeezed it in. But it stops the clock, which is the important thing for Elder. They're going to get it back, but they're going to have to go a long way.
Mark Myers will punt it away. Michael Bell Prince standing back at his 10 to receive this kick. We're under 7 minutes here in the 4th quarter. Kick. Del Prince calls for the fair catch in his 8. We'll head to break. 6:46 left to go in this Division I state championship game. Elder with the football. They're down 28-13. Left to go. And a 28-13 lead for Cleveland St. Ignatius over Cincinnati Elder. Mike Aarons, Greg Fry, Katie Witham. And Elder with the football. They'll start on their own 8.
But Ignatius burned about 3.5 minutes on that last drive. Precious time for Elder. And Mark Miller's got to take him a long way.
And it's another sack and a fumble! And touchdown Ignatius!
Oh,
nope, they're going to say he was down. Nope, they're going to call it an incomplete pass.
Elder's very fortunate.
Boy, that was lucky right there.
I don't think there's any way that arm was going forward.
Pat Dowd. Number 63 was the player that scooped it up. We'll have to look at this play again. But it looked like a sack from the backside and a fumble.
Yeah, McVeigh's going to come off the left edge.
Watch the arm.
He gets there in a hurry.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's
wow. What a break.
Fortunate for Elder, but, you know, it's still probably not going to be a factor in this game because they can't stop McVeigh. McVeigh, he just keeps coming. They can't protect him.
2nd and 10. Blitz up the middle. Fisher came up the middle on a blitz. O'Connor comes up with the catch, and a big catch for a first down.
Well, they brought Fisher and McVeigh up the middle that time.
Fisher came right up the gut. Picked up well. And a nice play by Mark Miller to get it to Tim O'Connor.
Elder just going no huddle work here.
Michael Del Prince comes up with the catch. That'll bring up 2nd down. We'll head down for another Farmers Insurance sideline report with Katie Witham.
Well, guys, Mark Miller, definitely the leader for Elder's offense. You know, I was standing over there on their Elder sideline before the guys came back out, and he was the one that was getting in guys' faces saying, come on, let's go. We're not out of this game yet. And you know what, guys? These kids really gravitate towards them, and they're showing that out on the field right now.
Thank you, Katie. Mark Miller going for the home run ball and broken up by Sean Fitzgerald in a foot race with Josh Jones.
That definitely wasn't there. Good coverage. Mark Miller's trying to make a play.
I think the Ignatius faithful would have liked the flag on that play there.
You know, it's a situation where you keep the flags in your pocket right now and let these guys play, unless it's just blatantly obvious. But Elder's in a must-make situation right here.
See Sean Fitzgerald motion into the crowd. Get up. And Tim O'Connor with another huge catch. First down, Elder. Wow.
And a great throw again by Mark Miller. Boy, he is hanging tough. Talk about being under the gun all night long and taking a lot of hits and still making throws.
Catch number 12, Tim O'Connor. Watch out for number 40. He drops back in coverage this time. Miller from the backside, sack.
And this time it's not McVay.
Seifring.
They dropped McVay in coverage, and Seamus Seifring came from the backside, and he gets the sack. They only rushed. I think they only brought 3 that time.
McVay dropped back in coverage, pick up the tight end, and Seamus Seifring comes up with sack number 9.
Mark Miller never saw it coming.
Wow. Miller, 2nd and 19, going up top. You wanted Michael Del Prince, but he was well covered. Dan Fox, Pat Hinkle, Sean Fitzgerald all in on the coverage for the Wildcats.
So you can tell Mark Miller's going deep a few more times. He's feeling the pressure of the game and the fact that there's only 5.5 minutes left to go. But you still got to be patient as a quarterback right here. And you've got to keep working those underneath routes and take what they give you. And you still got to get first downs.
Right, Coach, it's 3rd and 19. Are you bringing it? Are you bringing the heat? Or are you dropping back? What are you doing?
What do you think?
I think they're bringing it.
Bring it. Are you kidding me? I don't think McVay's going to be dropping the coverage here.
Still Prince in motion. McVay lined up on the left side. He's picked up downfield for Josh Jones. Jones was turned around. Pass was thrown behind him. Sean Fitzgerald in the coverage.
Coach Ramsey in a tough spot here. You don't want to have to go for 4th and 20 with 5 minutes to go. But he's thinking about it. You hate to give it up at this point in time.
Watch Tim O'Connor. He's been every big 3rd down they've needed. Somehow Mark Miller has gotten it to him.
Yeah. These aren't the situations you want to be in, but you've got to find a way to make a play.
0 for 2. And 4th down conversion so far tonight. 4th and 19 from their 25. Del Prince in motion. Miller blitz up the middle. Miller is sacked by McVay and company. Ryan Carr was there as well. Sack number 10 for the Wildcats.
Ramella and Carr got the pressure off the edge, forced him up in the pocket, and McVay was there to clean him up again.
That's a team sack right there.
That is, it really is. McVay finished him, but the other guys, the down linemen got there first. And that might be the nail in the coffin for the Panthers.
5 minutes, 12 seconds left on the scoreboard. 28-13 as Ignatius takes over from their 20. Anner is the deep back. This is Anner, cuts back. And he's slung to the ground by Steve Newman. There's a look at the junior who was at a whale of a flesh.
It's hard to find the adjectives to talk about the night that he has had, but the Ignatius defense has done this all year long.
He's had sacks, the interception. He opened up a hole for a Hinkle touchdown. I mean, what more can you ask for?
I don't know that you can do much more than he has done tonight. He brought his A game and then some.
Joey Paris in motion. And off over the left side. Anner again. 4.5 left to play. In the 10 sacks that they've had tonight, 47 yards. 47 yards lost.
And Elders just tried everything up front to protect and couldn't stop it. you really got to go back. You know, the injury to Austin Bujnak early on in this football game was a difference maker in the game.
Look at McVay, 7 tackles, 3 sacks, an interception, and of course the lead block on a touchdown. Here's Anner again.
Boy, David Peters. There's another junior. Between him and Corey Mason. Mason's a 6'3", 190-pound junior. David Peters, 6'1", 215. Running the field, making a tackle, dragging Anner down.
And then you got Jacob Lindsey's a sophomore at the other linebacking spot. And then you look at their secondary. Fishberg's a junior. Vogelsang's a junior.
They're going to bring some solid players back.
Elder going to take a timeout. As you look at Chuck Kyle, one of the things that we talked to him about before the game, he said, Coach, you could win your 10th tonight. Have you thought about it? I mean, what? He just, you know what? No. It's something I'll think about when I'm sitting on the porch with an iced tea in my rocker. He said, but right now, he still teaches 4 English classes a day. He still coaches track. He said, it's their game. It's the kids' game. I'm just driving the bus.
He's the classic coach that I love to see. Very humble, understands the football game. It's not about him. He's a great teacher on the field and off the field. And you see that in great programs that win over time. And we're talking about an opportunity to win a 10th state championship, and he'll downplay it.
Oh, he will.
And you can't downplay it because it's a special moment, and that moment is quickly approaching for Coach Kyle and his staff.
He actually said he was going to miss us because he got used to talking to us.
We've seen a lot of him the last month.
Yeah, we have. 35-yard field goal attempt by Seamus Hennessy. 9 of 12 on the year. It's blocked. Jake Fishburne came in and got the block. So a big play by Elder. 3.5 left to go. See if they can turn this into some momentum and get some points as Scott McVay and company come back out on the field.
There's some coaches that would not have kicked this field goal. Boy, look at the effort off the edge. Jake Fishburne laying out. The risk there is if it gets blocked and they run it back, you don't look so good as a coach. So some coaches would just run the football there and burn the clock. But Ignatius fortunate that play didn't go the other direction for a touchdown.
So with 3:32 left to go, Mark Miller taking over at his 20. He's got some work. Here comes McVay. The screen pass set up. Lots of running room here. Adam Brown. And he's into Ignatius territory. Big pickup for Adam Brown.
Where's that play, man?
Boy, they countered the pressure. Scott McVay came from the outside, and that was a perfect call.
That's what you do when you get a team that comes off the edge. I mean, Ignatius has been teeing off on, pinning their ears back on the pass rush, and good play call right there.
36 yards. Miller with time, and he overthrows Alex Welch, his tight end. Take a look at Coach Fry's keys as we go back and add to them from the start of the game.
Well, I want to look at the running backs, and Mike Anner's gotten the better of the two. I didn't feel like they had to get 100 yards, but Anner's got 77 quality yards in pass protection. Well, I think that one speaks for itself. Certainly, Elder giving up 10 sacks, and quarterback's carrying the load. Andrew Holland, great night tonight so far. Defense wins championships, and 10 sacks, and they had an interception by McVay, and they are on the brink of winning a championship, but it's not over. The Panthers, they don't have quit in them, I promise you.
3:14 left to go. Underneath, Michael Del Prince. Del Prince is knocked out of bounds.
What if Elder can score with about 2 minutes to go? They go for 2. Never know.
Take a listen to this hit real time on a cold night. Hello.
Crack. 6'4", 220-pound defensive back laying the lumber. Whew. But 3 minutes to go. You pop one in here with 2 minutes. Go for 2, 28-21. Yep, I think be some puckering on the Ignatius sideline there.
There you go, Coach. First down, Tim O'Connor. 13th catch of the night in front of Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, you got a flag. Flag on the other side of the field.
Flag on the play.
It looks like it might be against him. No, Ignatius is pointing at Elder. Listen in and get the call here. ineligible downfield.
How do you have a guy ineligible downfield? I don't get that. This late in the year, I don't know how that happens. It's a short throw. I don't get it. Nonetheless, it's going to put Elder in a 3rd and 8 after getting the first down. That'll drive the coaching staff nuts. After you already made the first down, that's one of those you scratch your head.
Go right back to Tim O'Connor. They go over to Josh Jones, makes a great catch.
What a catch.
But he's going to be short of the first down. Boy, went down on his shoelaces and grabbed that one.
31-yard line.
Well, Elder with a 5-wide look there. McVay came off the edge. They didn't block it. That's a great throw sitting in there by Mark Miller. 4th down.
4th and 2. Here's Miller. Miller. Wide open. Del Prince, and it's deflected by Fitzgerald. Or it was a touchdown. Sean Fitzgerald got a hand on that. Michael Del Prince was wide open.
Blown coverage by Ignatius, and boy, are they fortunate. Mark Miller had him. He just couldn't set his feet enough to get it. Thrown over the top. Boy, Fitzgerald gets a hand on it. Otherwise, you're right, that's a touchdown. Oh, boy, did he have him.
Doug Ramsey talking to his quarterback.
And I know what he's telling him. You know, you got to get the first. I know you were trying to go for the home run, but you got to move. You got to get the first down. You needed it.
It was a 4th and 2 play. An empty backfield for Andrew Holland. I would expect him to run the football here.
Ignatius has dodged some bullets here.
Orlando Scales drags him down.
And Elder's going to have to
burn some timeouts.
Be forced to burn their allotment of 3 timeouts.
Boy, there's been some chances for Elder here in the second half.
They have had opportunities.
They had Ignatius backed up. They had great field position. At about the 45, a couple of penalties took him out of that play. Come back down, get him backed up again, get a drive here.
When you block a field goal, and it's one of those, if it bounces up in the air, you might have a chance to return it. Doesn't happen, and you get a blown coverage. The one time I've seen a blown coverage in a month for Ignatius, and can't quite get the throw there, and Fitzgerald just gets a hand on it.
Great turnout at both of these schools. It's been a great run here for us at Sports Time Ohio this championship weekend. 6 games, all live, all of the games here in Canton in high definition. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you had a chance to check in from time to time and watch our coverage of the Ohio High School Athletic Association state football playoffs all the way through the state championship. 2nd and 12 from the 29. Holland. Handoff. Anner. And he's spun down. Zach Ottenreed back there to make the tackle.
It's been a quick 5 weeks. You know, ironically, we started with St. Ed's and Ignatius.
Give you a rundown of what's happened this weekend. Congratulations to all the state champs. Look at the 5th football championship for the Blue Jays. They win by 20. Archbishop Alter with a great run through the playoffs. And how about that? Knocked off the Big Red for their first football championship, 21-6.
Got a little revenge on a couple years ago.
Game we did last night, great game. Sylvania Southview, their first football championship. They win 29-25. And another first, the Green Men of Aurora taking out East 4 Academy, 21-10. So some first-timers. And then the one that finished up before us, Youngstown Ursuline, their second football championship, and the Fighting Irish might have played one of the toughest schedules in the state.
They did. They beat a very solid Liberty Benton team today. Impressive win for Ursuline. Congrats. You know, they lost last year in the final, but they came back this year and finished the job.
How about Liberty Benton, the shutout machine, getting shut out?
I know. They were coming in, scoring a lot of points, and 10 shutouts coming in, and Ursuline got it done.
Going downfield, and that's going to be a flag. That's going to be against Ignatius. Pass interference. And Mark Miller closing in on some records. 2 of them to be exact, completions and attempts here tonight in Division I.
How about Coach Kyle not afraid to go up top and try to hit the home run? You see some contact there.
Miller 24 of 46 on the night. 346 yards.
And he's done that with pressure in his face all night long. lost it down against Ignatius. The Elders going to get another opportunity, but those opportunities are few and far between now. They're in need of a quick score. Go for two, onside kick. They're going to have to play nearly perfect football at this point.
So the offensive pass interference. Joey Pierce. Back them up. 2:22 left to go in our high school football season. Mark Myers will punt. Michael Del Prince standing back at his 45. Had trouble the last time, almost in the same spot. Myers gets it away. Nice kick. And fair catch called for. Del Prince had to back up. Again, the wind's blowing back over his head. That was a tough ball, but he made a nice catch. 40 yards
by Mark Myers right there, under pressure.
Well, Sunday night, you can join Bruce Drennan as he takes your calls and your emails. He'll wrap up the high school championships, break down the Browns-Colts game, and preview the baseball winter meetings. It's all coming up Sunday night at 7 o'clock only on STO and STO HD. So take another look at a great shot from the Goodyear blimp. Been our partners here tonight. Great catch by Selby Cheathamo at the 50. Clock continues to move.
I think he'd been better off dropping it, though, because it's going to take him a long time to get set.
And he's going to quickly get off. Nicholas Gramke to the right of Mark Miller. 1:54 left to go. Miller, sideline to O'Connor, overthrew him. Sean Fitzgerald over there on the coverage for the Wildcats. Time is the ally of the Wildcats and the enemy of the Panthers right now.
And I'm surprised they haven't gone to a little bit of an out and up or kind of a hitch and go to O'Connor's. Many of those he's caught tonight. Fitzgerald's been jumping them all night long. It's definitely there. He got help over the top. Fox to the safety.
3rd and 6. Blitz picked up. Downfield. Has O'Connor another catch. First down. Elder. Catch number 14.
How about the poise of Mark Miller? Just pressure all night long. Flushed out again to his left, and he knows where O'Connor's going to be, and just throws it right in the seam.
Just keeps putting up numbers. Miller. Time. Plenty of time. Scrambling. There's McVay. He's got a man wide open. And it's Alex Welch, the tight end. Big pickup, 1st and goal, Elder. And Miller looks like he's hurt. Miller took a shot from McVay at the end of this play right here.
Boy, what presence of mind by Miller to run back to his left. He knows he sees Alex Welch, puts it out there. Welch is going to take it down to the 2-yard line, but boy, McVay put another shot on Mark Miller. This is like a title fight. He's taking hit after hit after hit after hit, and that one will take him a while to get up from.
He is not moving. And McVay just came in from the backside, and Miller was completely exposed because he had opened up for the throw.
I'm hoping he just got the wind knocked out of him because he popped him right from the front. And that could be very scary as a quarterback when you take that shot. And Coach Ramsey's he's making sure those guys get ready for the next play and get the next quarterback in there.
Let's give this young man a timeout.
He'll be back. I don't think
he'll be back.
This junior's waited a long time to play football and get his start. It's his team. Joe Hetzer looks like he's going to come in and take this snap.
Well, how about that situation to be in? Everything's on the line.
Senior.
You got to make a play.
Joe Hetzer drops back, throws it up to Tim O'Connor for the touchdown. How about that? How about that? Just come on in, make a throw, get us back in the game.
It's like a pitch hit home run. Comes in off the bench.
How about that?
Throw the fade, sets his feet, puts it up there, and of course O'Connor.
That's not an easy route to throw, too. You're cold off the bench,
It's tough
Coach.
to throw the fade. That's short. There's not a lot of room, but what a great throw off the bench.
What does that say about the coach when he makes that play call, knowing that he's bringing in a guy off the bench?
Well, now you got issues with the extra point.
Del Prince.
You your holder, I'm guessing.
They don't want to have to take a timeout.
No, they might not. Oh,
they have anything left to take. They got no timeouts.
They're going to take the penalty. They got time. There's 11 seconds left. They're going to have to kick the extra point here.
And it's down, and it's good. So 28-20. Let's take a look at the touchdown. Hetzer to O'Connor. What a night.
That's a great throw.
Timmy O'Connor's had.
Tom Hunt's right there, but O'Connor just goes up and gets it. That ball is perfectly thrown. He just out-jumps him. How about that, coming off the bench when it's 23 degrees maybe at this point in time? I can relate to that a little bit. It's difficult to do, and sometimes you think what happened, it happens so fast you don't even know it. You just go into repetition mode. You've been there before. You want to run the play because you don't have time to think about it. Sometimes it's better that way. If you got a night to think about it, you got to start the next day. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, and it's not like baseball where you get warm-up pitches. He's over there trying to warm up on the sideline as quick as he can while they're attending to Miller.
He got a couple throws in. See, that's when the trainers go out and tell Miller, hey,
stay down.
Let your backup get warmed up.
All right, get your hands team on here. This should be interesting. You're talking about the best kicker in the state in Anthony Miliano.
Well, he needs a good bounce right here, a little in between hop.
Got the hands team on. Miliano gonna get into it, get the hop, and it's fielded by Ignatius. Right at midfield.
I believe that was Jake Ryan, number 39, that came down with it.
Jake Ryan.
We talked about the special teams for Ignatius and how sound that they are.
Jake Ryan, one of the linebackers.
Special teams was the difference in the Glenville win, and see Coach Ramsey looking on, and they're going to just run out of time. They scored quickly, 5 plays, 55 yards, but no timeouts left. They're not going to be able to stop Ignatius.
Mike Gaynor, the deep back. And Andrew Holland will take a knee with a minute, 13 seconds, and the countdown to the 10th state championship for Chuck Kyle is underway. He'll go to 10-1. You saw that stat at the beginning of the game.
They know how to close the deal.
10-1 in state championship games. That is just phenomenal.
And the last time was 2001. It's been a while. But it was interesting as we started the playoffs, I wasn't sure who the best team was Division I. A lot of good teams out there. Glenville and Coleraine, who got knocked off by these two teams, and Pickerington Central got knocked off as well by Elder last week, and Ignatius is going to be at the top of the pile when it's all said and done, and they are deservedly going to win number 10 for Coach Kyle.
What a great experience for these players right here. He talked all week long how the Ignatius alumni were calling him. He heard from his former players, coaches, and now he gets to celebrate his 10th state championship with his football team as Cleveland St. Ignatius is your Division I big school state champ. They defeat Cincinnati Elder 28-20.
How about it? They jumped out 21-0 early in the game, and Elder just would not quit. They came back in this football game, but the Wildcats hang on 28-20. Congratulations to the Ignatius Wildcats and Coach Kyle. Very sound football team this year in all facets of the game, and they got it done tonight.
Let's send it down to Katie Witham, standing by with the winning head coach.
Now, Coach, you told me before the game when I asked you, what do you even think about if you think about, your 10th state championship? You said you're not thinking about it. I'm making you thinking about it now. How does it feel?
Well, it feels very nice. Okay, but this is this is about these guys. This is about their day. This is their game. I'm just a guy. I'll show up next year and I'll set up, try to do it again. But it's about them. Honestly, I have this privilege to do this. Unbelievable thing to do. And it's just, you know, when you talk about a career, it's actually a vocation, you know, and this is pretty good.
Well, those guys went out and played pretty good today. What do you feel your team did best?
Well, first of all, defensively, they were out in the field quite a bit, and it's a great passing attack, and I think, you know, you give them credit, they were going to score some points, you know, and I think we put some pressure on. I think we kept coverage for the most part, did a great job there, and offensively, we you know, got one more in the second half. We would like to have gotten more, but you start looking at the clock, you start trying to play that kind of game. So we did take the air out of the ball a little bit and try to get the clock moving.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank
Great
you.
accomplishment.
Thank you.
Guys.
Great job down there, Katie. Farmers Insurance reports. And look at that. There's a leap if I ever saw one. There's Chuck Kyle celebrating 10th state championship, and take a look at the run and the tradition that he has built there, including 3 national championships. Been a while though.
It has been a while, but his program has stood the test of time. And you know, as you hear his interview, he's such a class act and very deserving of number 10.
Let's send it back down to Katie, who's standing by with Connor Ryan.
Connor, your guys' 10th state title. What's going through your mind right now? I mean, it's got to be an amazing feeling.
Oh my, it's unbelievable. This has been our goal the whole season. We worked since July 31st in pads the whole time. This was our goal, and we wanted to bring it back for these coaches.
Well, you know what, Coach Kyle, a very humble guy. He's been here for all 10. What does that say about him?
Unbelievable coach. One of the best coaches ever. He picks you up when you're down, and he has you keep going when you're up.
Thanks, Kyle. Nice job.
What a night for Connor Ryan. You want to talk about what he's done. There's the touchdown catch. And now here's the play that picked up the first down. And then the one he's not going to forget, because here comes the Nestea plunge at the end of this one.
The difference maker in the second half, really the only offense out of Ignatius in the second half, and enough to get the job done and seal the victory for the Wildcats.
Well, 6 of the 10 state championships have come against teams from Cincinnati. So I'm sure, Coach Kyle, when you look at who you're going to play, that's not too bad. Not too good if you're from Cincinnati.
Well, no, but the GCL teams, I mean, certainly have won 4 out of the last 6. So in his run, he's had to go through those teams from that region, which has been a very strong region. Obviously represented well by Cincinnati Elder tonight.
Well, yeah, and the Cleveland teams have had problems, especially at the Division I level. I mean, last year we saw St. X take apart a Mentor team, which everybody thought was loaded for bear, and St. X defensively just struck them down.
Well, since 01, this is the first time since 01 that this region's been able to win this championship. And they got it done on defense tonight.
There's Mr. McVay, 8 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, and an interception to lead a 10-sack night on a 10th state championship night.
You could say he's the one-man wrecking crew tonight, but you know, we know that defense is, they've got 11 solid players, but man, did he bring it tonight.
Oh, man. Getting ready to hand out the runner-up trophy to Cincinnati Elder.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these 2 championship teams a big round of applause.
Listen in to Dr. Dan
Coach
Ross.
Ramsey and the Panthers, I know this isn't the goal you had set for yourself, but you've had a tremendous season. 13 wins, a tremendous victory in your regional final in double overtime, a tremendous victory in your state semifinal against an undefeated opponent, and tonight you're going back to Cincinnati as one of the 2 top teams in Division I in the state of Ohio. You've played hard. You've represented the Elder Nation with a lot of class, and your fans are very, very proud of you. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and our 716 member high schools that play football, we would like to present the state runner-up trophy for Division I in 2008 to the Panthers of Cincinnati Elder High School.
Dr. Dan Ross with the presentation. Here's a look at head coach Doug Ramsey. And certainly nothing to bow his head at. Elder has made a great run, and they knocked off two powerhouses to get into this championship game. That Coleraine game that we did, and a lot of people were thinking it was going to be Coleraine and Ignatius, found out otherwise because Elder played a whale of a football game the last 2 weeks to get here.
They really did an impressive road here, and I'm sure they're disappointed, but they played with a lot of passion tonight, as you would expect out of a GCL team.
Send it back down to Katie. She's got another guest down there.
I got a popular guest down here. All the guys cheering for Scott McVay. Scott, you guys, an amazing game defensively. You came up huge tonight. What was the best thing you guys were able to do defensively out there?
I mean, the defensive line, everyone, like all linebackers helped free me up. I mean, we all played great together.
And you yourself, the guys up in the booth describe you as a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, you had an amazing game today.
Thank you. I mean, everyone freed me up, especially the D-line. They made the whole Shemina blitz too. I mean, the team effort.
10th state title, can you believe it?
I can't. It hasn't hit me yet. I mean, it's fantastic.
Get up there and hold that trophy.
Nice job, Katie. Dr. Dan Ross getting set to hand over the championship trophy to Ignatius.
What does it sound like when you win 10 state championships? Coach Kyle and the Wildcats, you have created a storied tradition. In 1988, you won your first state football championship. And tonight you set Ohio history. You won your 10th state championship, and you're the only school in Ohio to do that. And there was one more very special thing that happened this evening. Tonight, you earned the right to be called a state champion, and that's something that no one can ever take away from you. On behalf of our board of directors and our 830-member high schools, we want to present the 2008 State Championship Trophy for Division I to the Wildcats of Cleveland St. Ignatius.
Dr. Dan Ross hands over the hardware. Coach Chuck Kyle, senior Sean Fisher, number 14 in there as well. And the 10th state championship, 20 years since their first one back in '88. Something about those eights. But this is a school that also, when you deal with the pressure, they've made the playoffs 21 consecutive years. This is a school, their fan base, their alumni, they expect them to be here every year. This is a school that plays with the pressure, and these kids, when you go to Ignatius, you know what's expected of you, and they've handled the pressure very well.
They have, and they've bounced back. You know, a year ago they lost to Glenville in a game when, if you think back to last year, they had some injuries. Andrew Holland couldn't play in that game for the most part, but he bounces back. The team comes back this year with a chip on their shoulder, and Andrew Holland takes them the distance.
And speaking of Andrew Holland, Katie Witham standing by with a quarterback who threw 3 touchdowns tonight.
Boy, Andrew Holland, it's crazy down here right now. You know what? You were just up there holding that trophy, the 10th. How did it feel?
It felt amazing, you know, just to get that for our fans, our team, and Coach Kyle, just to get his 10th ring in 20 years. I can't even describe it.
Is it just amazing being a part of something like that with Coach Kyle?
Coach Kyle runs a great program, and just to be a part of it just feels incredible. I love it.
What do you guys have any special plans tonight? Guys getting together, party after this?
I assume so.
Thanks, Andrew. Great job today.
Thanks, Katie. Take a look at the first half. That's a tough question to ask the high school kids. We're going to have pizza over at my house afterwards. There's Brendan Carazoni. Got the first touchdown as you look at Andrew Holland's night. Found Carazoni again. Holland just 12 of 22 for 208 yards. As he throws the touchdown to Connor Ryan, but 3 touchdowns on the night. And what a way for the Co-Division I Player of the Year to go out as you take a look at the final stats. 401 yards through the air from Mark Miller tonight.
But I figured you had to be balanced, and Ignatius did a better job running the football enough in the passing yards you see there, but the 10 sacks stands out. The turnovers by Elder early in the game really hurt them. Ignatius able to get out to a lead and was able to hold on.
And defense, as we expected, was the difference in this football game. You see the highlighted, as Coach Cry mentioned, 10 sacks, and Scott McVeigh certainly half of them. Racked up 4.5 sacks, 8 tackles, 4 for loss, an interception, goal line block for a touchdown. Junior had himself a nice night.
Oh, he did, and you know, one of my keys was pass protection, and Ignatius did a much better job of that tonight. The front 5 up there, and you got to throw in the tight end, did a great job protecting Andrew Holland, giving him time to make the big plays downfield. And Mark Miller, a stellar night in the air, over 400 yards, but just harassed all night long by the Ignatius defense and unable to find a way to protect and keep Scott McVeigh out of his face.
Well, partner, it's been a lot of fun. Can't believe that it's flown by so quickly, but it's been a great run. It's been great to take the ride with you.
It's been a fun 5 weeks, and I'm going to miss this, but you know, this is what it's all about, to go through the playoff run and be here the last couple days to see who's going to win. And once again, we were not disappointed, were we?
Our thanks to the Goodyear Blimp providing these beautiful shots all night long. The director for tonight's Division I State Championship game, the pilot himself, Steve Warren. Mike Atkinson, our producer of the broadcast tonight. Stat extraordinaire, Tommy Boshemick, standing by for Katie Witham, my partner up in the booth, Greg Fry. I'm Mike Cairns. You witnessed history tonight from Canton Fawcett Stadium. Number 10, Cleveland St. Ignatius. Their state championship, they win it 28-20. Good night, everybody.